Hey, everybody. On this day, 1993 years ago, zombie Jesus rose from the dead, then went on a 40 boasting tour. You had to be there, right? Welcome in, everybody. Happy Monday. Hope you all had a good weekend. Oh, just like that. Money gun. So, Nerd Unleashed, you have a kick pull coupon. Since we don't have anybody up, you can use that anytime to trigger an early kick pull. So, congratulations, Nerd Unleashed. And thank you. Appreciate you. Resurrected. Good to see you. Thank you. Did you have your porridge this morning? No. Actually had, what's that called? Psyllium husk. I don't think I would have liked porridge. And Lawler John Wycliffe, thank you for the trees. I appreciate them. Submit them into evidence, please. All right, evidence entered. We have trees as entered as evidence. He's a secular. Hey, good to see you. And just remember, everybody, bingo is still going. So we haven't had a winner yet. If you guys want to play, go to that link. It's free to play. And it's pinned over on YouTube. But on TikTok, I just posted the link in the chat. So if you want to play bingo, go get your free card. So we still are looking for a winner from Friday. And then just remember, when you do play, mark your center spot. Lenny Hendry, I don't know who that is. I make many porridge recipes. Okay. Can't be mad at something that I don't believe exists. So no. I'm just trying to figure out if this makes sense. Because to me, it doesn't make sense. All right. So yes. So didn't already know, money guns are a $5 super chat will trigger an early kick pull. If you do it while nobody's in the queue, then you get a coupon. Good for any time, and it doesn't expire. And now I got to find the money gun thing again. Where's it at? Yeah, so it's a good way to participate in the chat, as chat now controls the outcome. And of course, you can always buy one right in the middle if you want. And also, I got a little goal set up on the YouTube side. If we get 10 super chats, I'll do an AMA. Just 10, that's all it takes. That's just for today. So, well, I can't find it, so we'll just do Dragon Crown then. We'll just do that one. Yeah, we'll just do that one. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I certainly did. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, 3 Pips. So, what's your best evidence that God loves women and kids? We ran this on Friday, and it didn't go well. I did not get an Easter basket. Ever since my kids are older, I don't do Easter. People love women and kids, and if we were made in God in His image, and there is a God, then God loves them. So now you got to demonstrate that we were made in His image, and you got to demonstrate that there's a God. So you got two hurdles to jump over. The bunny rabbit was good to you? Good. Glad to hear that. No preaching, Bella. We don't do preaching here. I'm 36 and my mom still gives Easter baskets to me and my husband. Well, that's nice. I mean, I wouldn't turn down an Easter basket if someone gave me one. Not going to lie. God is not good at following his own rules. Got to agree with that. So far today, YouTube chat has submitted trees as evidence. What caused you to be an atheist? Lack of sufficient evidence and reading the Bible. So if you are 18 and believer in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran, and you have evidence that God loves women and kids, request up. So let's tap the screen. Let's like and share and repost, all that good stuff. Hey, Ember, you made it. Hope you're feeling better. So let's not dodge the question. Let's answer it. What's your best evidence God loves women and kids? So I don't have evidence that God isn't, but that doesn't mean God is. So if you think God loves women and kids, then you have the burden of proof to demonstrate it. Human babies are the only ones who need 24/7. How does that follow? That's a non sequitur. How does that follow? Because human babies need 24/7 care at birth, there has to be a God. That's not evidence. Have you ever had a witch pagan come into chat? Oh yeah, I have. I ask them the same questions. Well, not specifically this, but if I ask them how they know it's true. What creates humans? Other humans. And Girls God Godless is here. Welcome in. So yeah, let's tap the screen. Let's share. And let's show some activity. Chat is going, so that's good. And we do have a witch. There we go. Witches and their covens are welcome, by the way. Oh, thank you for the galaxy. Appreciate you. Thank you. You know what? For that, I'm gonna give you an honorary jellyfish. 3G. Just because it's good to see you, number one, and you did a galaxy right off the bat. So you just get an automatic kick. So do you think we live in a simulation? Nope. No evidence to support that. And saying you don't know for sure that we don't live in a simulation is not evidence that we live in a simulation. Go to orangutan babies, yeah? That's a good point. Prestige. Yeah, there's lots of animals that need like round-the-clock care, right? It doesn't mean God's real or God loves women and kids. So why are you atheist and not agnostic? I'm an agnostic atheist. Don't know, and I don't believe. Money Gun, well, it was, but I couldn't find it on the list, Nerd Unleashed, so I threw up a dragon, the 500 coin dragon, but if anyone throws up a Money Gun, it's good. We'll call it good. Hey, Katie, it's good to see you. Your best evidence I love you doesn't follow. God loves women and kids because you love me. That's just like saying kids love candy, therefore I love you. That doesn't make any sense. I don't have to, but I do. His love is endless. Well, you got to demonstrate that. You have no evidence that his love is endless. I love lamp. What's your best evidence God is not real? It's not the topic. Stay on topic. And there's no evidence that he is. 0. All right, let's bring up our first guest. Oh, what's up?
Yo, what's up?
Hey, not much. Can I get your age and pronouns, please?
All right, I'm 18, turned just very recently.
Okay.
And I'm he, him.
All right. And
Yeah.
which
by
God
the
do you
way,
believe in? The God
I'm
of the
not-
Bible, the Torah, or the
I
Quran? I'm
did-
going to turn you up just a little
No,
bit.
I was going to say,
Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, I'm turning you up on my end.
Right, I'm atheist too.
Oh, you're an
I was
atheist.
just coming to say hi.
Oh, well, hello.
Yeah, I just how's it going?
Hey, it's going well. Way to embrace critical thinking. We appreciate that. We need more critical thinkers in this world. So,
Nice
like
question
that.
though.
Yeah, you got a question?
Those women and kids? Question mark?
Yeah.
No, I was just reading your question.
Yeah. What's your
I
best
didn't even see
evidence?
it before I joined.
Yeah. What's your best evidence God loves women and kids?
What?
Mm-hmm.
How would I have? I mean, I'm atheist, so I wouldn't really think that.
Well, that's why I'm asking for believers to come up.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
So you would say, I have no evidence because I don't believe in a God.
Yeah, but I guess I would have evidence otherwise, as in the women are treated as lesser than men in the Bible.
Uh-huh.
Other than that, he does very often kill kids who are meant to be innocent. I mean, what do kids do wrong?
Yeah.
What would that mean as far as liking kids goes?
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know.
Exactly. Oh yeah, I'm with you on that. There's lots of evidence that he doesn't like women and kids. He doesn't love them. Lots of evidence. If you're a believer, lots of evidence of that. So I totally agree with you. Well, it looks like I may have another guest who is a believer, so I'm gonna drop you down. But hey, I appreciate you saying hi and
I'll go
coming up.
down, yeah.
Yeah, appreciate you. Hey, enjoy the rest of your day.
Have a great night.
Thanks for coming in.
Oh.
All right. Well, he has no evidence because he doesn't believe in God. Rice too. So that's fair. But you know what? I'm okay if a believer says I have no evidence. I'm okay with that. I mean, I would probably question, why do you believe it if you don't have any evidence? But you know, that's another conversation. But you know, but at least they'd be honest, right? So, all right, next guest. Ooh, lots of Greek in that name, I think. That looks like Greek. But I see a hammer and sickle too, so I don't know.
Hello.
How's it going?
Hello from Greece.
Hello from America. Thanks for coming in. I can't read Greek, so what can I call you?
My name is Makis.
Mikis. All right. Mikis, can I get your age and which pronouns you prefer to use?
He, his, and I am 43.
Fantastic. All right. And are you a believer in either the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran?
I believe, let me put this way. I believe, do you know that every single religion is calling each other liar, fake, and false prophet?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Each other.
Every single one.
I have, exactly. When they spit on each other, I took the position to believe in all of them.
Interesting.
You see?
So you believe in all of them?
When they call each other fakers, when the Muslim, for example, calls the Christian a fake, a liar, and false prophet, I believe him. And the other way around. When the Christian calls the Muslim a faker, a false prophet, I believe him too.
I got it. You're smart. I like that.
We
got a big brain on the panel.
You must notice when they spit on each other.
Yeah. This is this is critical thinking in action, chat. I know a lot of you know what it looks like, but for those of you who are not sure, this is what critical thinking looks like. He says, hey, when all the religions are calling each other liars and cheats and thieves and all this other stuff, believe them. You say, okay, I believe
They're
you.
all true.
They're all true.
They're all true. Let me give you. But we must also view religion as. Let me give you what the ancient orator, orators of the ancient Roman speakers.
Yeah, in ancient Greece, right?
of old time.
The orators. Yeah.
The,
Of
the,
ancient
the
Rome.
Roman one said something very smart. Seneca, that was his
Yes.
name. Yeah, Seneca said this. It's attributed to him, but I'd have no reason not to believe it.
Oh,
It
thanks,
doesn't matter
Walsh.
who said it.
It'll be short.
That's
Yeah.
what Seneca said this way. Seneca said that the educated people consider religion to be false. The uneducated consider it to be true, and the politician consider it to be useful.
Ooh, interesting. Very interesting.
These words are over 2,000 years old.
Yeah, and it's still true today, huh? In a lot of ways, it's still
Exactly.
true. Yeah. Well, hey, Micus, I'm gonna get to some believers, but
one last
quick thing. Yep, I gotta believe. I think I have a believer waiting. What's that?
Yeah. For you to use in the future.
Okay.
Asia Minor, you know where Asia Minor is? It's
Asia Minor?
Turkey.
Yes,
Yeah.
modern day Turkey. Yeah.
Yeah, today. Yeah, it's the most western part of Asia.
Yeah.
It's the most on the west. Whole Asia Minor, whole the Kurdish population, all the population was Christian Orthodox.
Mm-hmm.
70,000 Sunni Muslim Turks arrived in Asia Minor in the year 10,071.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
70,000. Keep this number. They converted through lax taxation and many benefits. They converted 20 million Christians to Islam.
Wow.
70,000.
Wow.
Think about it.
Wow.
When there is the Archbishop of Iconio of Central Asia Minor, the Archbishop became a mullah in one day. Love you.
That's crazy, huh?
Have a good night. It's night here. It's late here. It's almost 12 o'clock
Okay.
at night.
Well,
have a good night, man.
Have a good night, sir, and thank you for spitting
Bye.
a little knowledge to
Bye-bye.
us. I appreciate
Bye,
you.
bye.
All right.
Bye, man.
Hey, Welsh, how you doing?
Pretty good. Had a earlier day today, so
Fantastic. Well,
hop on a little bit.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out. I don't know if we'll get much into science today, but we're gonna get a lot of moral stuff if anyone comes up. I did too,
like
Amy.
calling out morals.
Yeah. And Nerd Unleashed, that's interesting. We should stop calling it the Middle East. It's Swana, Southwest Asia and North Africa. I'm good with that. Southwest
yeah.
Asia and North Africa. Yeah. I'm good with that.
It's accurate. It's
Yeah.
it's definitely accurate.
Yeah. Middle East.
Because East is just arbitrary.
Yeah. It's colonial. Yeah, it is. It is colonial. It's colonizer
East
language.
is
Middle of the land, east of
very,
England. Yeah. It's colonial language. Yeah, and then by that matter, didn't they consider like the Middle East at that time, when they first came up with that, like Eastern Europe? They consider that the Middle East?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
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 If you're an atheist, why do you care?
Hey.
Because we badly need Thomas Thompson critical thinking. We lack that right now in our world.
I actually think that people shouldn't like societally we shouldn't believe in God because societies that are more secular are happier and have better psychological health
Overall.
and also better financial health
Yeah.
overall.
Overall. Speaking of health, how are you feeling, Kami Ember?
Oh, not amazing.
Not amazing? Hmm.
No, I'm feeling better than I was, but I'm just being, very intentional in sleeping today. I've
Good.
barely left the bed, so
Good.
You
Self-care.
just- yeah,
Yes.
You sick?
exactly.
W
yes,
for self-care.
relaxing, resting. Yes, thank
Yeah, very
you.
self-care.
I just learned about Swana a couple of months ago myself. I was on Aaliyah W Bed. I was on Instagram and saw a couple of the activists that I follow talking about that, and I was like, yeah, absolutely, let's call it Swana because
Yeah. I've actually
that's where they actually are.
Mm-hmm.
I've done paleontology digs there, and the locals call some locals I've talked to do call it Swana, who I've spoken to. They don't call it Middle East. And I was like, oh, maybe it's just like a local thing. But so I just continued calling him Aaliyah, just complete ignorance. But yeah, now I know.
I'm with you,
Yeah.
Aaliyah. That Swana does sound pretty dope.
It does too.
I'm with it. I'm with it. I think I
Yeah.
say we just go with Swana. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great
Yeah.
acronym.
I do
It's a
like that
very good
acronym. And Nerd Unleashed, W for throwing that in chat. Big W
Yeah,
for
W
Nerd
Unleashed.
Unleashed. Yeah. Nerd Unleashed is on fire today. Nerd Unleashed started with getting a money gun. So Nerd Unleashed has the early kick pull coupon like at the ready. Just locked and loaded. Just ready to go. And Girls Gone Godless, yeah, did get a Galaxy, which again, thank you for that. So she's got a an early kick. I'm just calling it equivalent to a jellyfish. She's got an early kick just at the ready too. So yes, you got to be on your P's and Q's today, because people are just waiting. Hey, I like it. We like education here.
Yeah.
W education.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I might not be very vocal today. You
That's
know, who
okay.
knows? I might fall asleep, but and
All good.
stuff like that.
Awesome. And you
And
know
if
what?
I need to potentially yell at somebody, it's fine.
Absolutely. Yeah, you just rouse. Yeah, you'll be the sleeping giant today. How about that? So
Exactly, the literal.
the literal sleeping giant, and
giant.
then when somebody awakens you, it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like it.
You awakened me from my slumber.
With your irrationality.
How dare you?
I love it. Oh no, Ember's
Deal.
awake. Run!
Remember one of my favorite things to do when people are just interrupting is just constantly going, actually in the the nasally nerd voice. Just the actually.
Oh,
just
actually.
repeating that.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
gets them so annoyed. It's so fun.
Right? Ooh, I think Aaliyah, if you need yelling done, let me know, Ember. I'm ready. Okay. We might have a
If I'm too tired, I'll tap in.
yeah,
Aaliyah.
just tag team and just tap in Aaliyah and she'll come in and be the sleeping giant.
There's evidence for
The Cave of
God,
Embers, a la Aladdin. Exactly.
Can't read the whole screen. Well, it's scrolling. Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about like the top part where it says like I'm an atheist, which is best evidence God loves women and kids? Is it that part?
Yeah.
Or is it the scrolling part? Because if it's the scrolling part, just wait.
Or even just what's your best evidence for God? You know, like
Yeah.
we never see
I like
that.
to switch it up.
but-
I like to switch it
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Because
I'm not
You
seeing
do.
the likes moving much, y'all. Let's get to 10K likes. Sorry to interrupt. I just want us to tap the screen.
no, it's all good. It's good. It's a good reason
And repost.
to interrupt. Yeah, and repost too, please. Yeah. It helps the live. It gets some people in here. Although there's a lot of people who are on today. Ashera. Oh, W is what? It cut off and G and God is cut off. Thank you. Okay. That's what y'all meant. Okay. I just
for
needed
me,
to
it's-
Oh, for me
clarification.
it's centered. Weird.
Maybe
Is
maybe
it?
it's because different phones. I don't know.
Yeah.
Zeus
I'll
loves
make it a
women
little
and kids.
smaller.
Zeus does not love women and kids. Zeus, at least
That
myth,
too.
Zeus does not love women and kids. He he loves his kid. Well, even then, no.
I guess if you take a very liberal definition of love.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
See, Ashra, that's your problem. Android supremacy. You have an
Yes,
iPhone.
absolutely.
Yeah, you have an iPhone.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know if I can help with that.
I got
But
this
we'll see.
this year for Christmas, and honestly, it is a huge upgrade.
Oh.
It is like such a benefit to me.
Mine
So.
is actually a little bit off center, so I'm going to move it slightly to the. There we go. Okay. Now, how is it for y'all?
Now
Is
it's
it
off center for me.
Now it's
but
off center?
fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
All good for
now
me.
it's off
All
center.
good for me.
Well, it's not going to be like perfectly on center. I just want it to be visible. That's all I want.
Yeah, no, it's readable.
Okay. That's all we want. Yeah. If it's, yeah. And you know what? For those who are slightly OCD like me, maybe it'll get them to join, to tell me. Hey, it's off center. Thank you.
It'll at least boost the live if they don't.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know, when you're streaming on like 3 platforms, it's really hard to get everything all lined up. It's just you got some sacrifices have to be made. Android
Okay, we got
supremacy.
to 10K. Awesome, guys. Let's get to 25K. Thank
Yeah,
you so
keep
much.
tapping. Keep tapping.
You're not
And
tapping and napping.
yeah, tapping and yapping. Not many
Well, if you're
chirpers
not
in the
tapping,
chat
you're
today.
napping.
Yeah. You love your woman and kids and God loves. That doesn't follow. That's another non sequitur. Thank you, Aaliyah. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no. I have to not agree.
Yeah. That doesn't quite follow. Yeah, somebody earlier said, because I love you, that means God loves women and kids. I'm like, well, first, I'm not a woman nor a kid. But then second of all, how does that follow? Not sure how that. Yeah, it's a big leap.
Christian's
So
logic is much different than ours.
yes. Yes.
Logic? I don't think they have that.
They
Oof.
have their own, which makes no sense and
Yeah.
only makes sense to them.
Thank you for the roses and heart me's. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Devinder and Sunny and Tony. Oh yeah, all with circles around the letters. That's pretty cool. Rajizi, Colin, Christina the Godless. Oh, I think we have all 3. We have 3 out of 3 Girls Gone Godless in here today. I think we do. Now that is an accomplishment.
The unholy trinity.
The unholy
Yay.
trinity is here. That is
We love it.
big W
That's amazing.
right there. That's a huge W. So we are. It is so rare. Yeah. I was beginning to think if caught you all. I was beginning to think, wonder if you all were different people. Because, haven't seen you since all in the same place since I was on your podcast. And that could be AI, that could be anything. But the fact that you're all 3 are here, that just puts my mind at ease that you are indeed 3 separate people. The unholy
Who knows?
trinity.
What if they are all on each other's accounts though?
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
swapped accounts.
They're cosplaying each other's
Yeah, they're
accounts.
cosplaying each other. Okay, so just pass your phone to the left and then log in. More proof for us than God. Absolutely, Aaliyah. 3 people, 1 brain. I don't know about that. You all are pretty big brained. So if so, it's like a huge brain. You know what I mean? Like a very, very advanced brain. Because y'all are pretty brainy.
Oh, that brain might be in a vat.
That might be.
That
It-
might be the
It
brain in
very
the
well may
vat.
be. And just way like full of nanotech and shit. And
Yeah,
quantum and
yeah.
nanotech and all that shit. Yeah, it probably is. Because they're pretty brilliant. Both Christians and Muslims are right in calling each other false. I like that. Micus. Yeah, oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
huge.
huge.
You know my least favorite things in movies is like
that?
sci-fi movies, like missing like not doing science correctly, like just throwing the word quantum around
Yes.
or the word like nanotech. Like nanotech is a thing, but it does not generate armor onto someone. It's like
Oh yeah.
I mean there's a piece of nanotech that helps sperm get to an egg.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. Exactly. Or it like, yeah, like at best it'll like deliver a vaccine, right? Something like
yeah,
that.
which is like which is like pretty good,
Yeah, that's good. Don't
very
get me wrong,
useful.
but yeah.
Yeah,
It doesn't
it's-
give you Iron Man armor. That's true. I'm with you on that.
yeah.
Which I think is
But
funny.
also, like when they talk about genetic engineering, I'm like, I've discussed genetic engineering. I've done genetic engineering on like base level, and like this is not at all. You don't just shift around the different Well, you kind of do, but like not in the same way as they just say.
Right.
You know.
Right. Well, I did, I was watching 3 Body Problem over the weekend on Netflix. It's actually it's a bit of a slow
it's-
burn.
Oh yeah, no, it's pretty good
Pretty good.
It's yeah.
I did think it was pretty imaginative that they they put like the whole spy, the aliens put the whole spy thing and the whole like, the computer thing and like the size of a proton, so nobody could detect it, and then it could just expand and then contract at will. I thought that was pretty imaginative.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Definitely.
All right, we have a guest. Okay, Germbino. Okay, so if you are thinking about coming in or you're already in, I do want to talk to people who believe in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran. Let's see what Germbino has to say. How's it going?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, not much. Can I get your age and pronouns, please?
Yeah, 20 he, him.
Fantastic. All right. And which God do you believe in? The God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran?
I personally don't really believe in a God, but I did have an argument for, I don't believe that like people that follow Christianity or any of the main like Abrahamic religions that I'm pretty like somewhat familiar with, I don't think they like worship a God that hates women and kids, basically.
Oh, okay. Well, I do want to talk to believers, but I appreciate you coming up. So, thanks for coming up.
Cool. Yep.
All right. So, yeah, I've actually kicked around arguments like that, but I mean, I hear you, and Germbino, I hear you, but we want the believers. So, any believers, come on up. If you have evidence that your God loves women and kids, I don't know, after crash outs on Friday, maybe, or maybe it's Easter hangover.
Man, that's what I'm thinking. Last
Might
Monday
be.
was pretty slow too. It was
Yeah.
pretty quiet last Monday.
Well, I know lately a lot of the other content creators, like the bigger ones, are on at this time. So
Oh, sure, that makes sense.
Parker, I'm pretty sure Parker.
Yeah, all those guys. So stay woke. How's it going?
Hey, how we doing this afternoon?
Doing well, doing well. Just do a age and pronoun check real quick.
I'm a male, a 30-year-old male.
30-year-old male. Okay. Well, that's your sex. We looking for like which pronouns do you prefer to be called? Like he, her, she, him. Did I say she, him, and he, her?
You said he, her,
him, she, her. Hey, we just blend it all up. Hey, maybe somebody's out there like that. I don't know.
Some people do. Some people do.
Yeah, it's called gender fluid.
Yeah, he, him, she, her, they, them.
Yeah, I'm a he. That's like you guys are very technical with that though. It's like,
Well,
I don't.
we kind of need to be, only because like, yeah, there's a there's a difference between sex and gender and pronouns and all that stuff. So okay, well, hey, thanks for coming up, and I want to talk to believers of the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran today. So which one of those are you a believer in?
I'm definitely a believer of the Bible. We just got finished with Easter Sunday. I mean, I hope everybody had a great Easter at the very least.
It was good. Yeah, for me. It was just a regular old Sunday for me. All right. Well, I'm glad you had a good
chocolate.
Sorry, Ember.
Oh, I just said I was in the hospital. It was it was a regular day, but a hospital day. So
a regular hospital day.
Well, you're out of the hospital now, right?
Yes.
God is good.
No.
God is good. Give him his praise.
The doctors are helpful. Thank you. I would really prefer you not say that to me. Thank you.
Give him his praise.
No, absolutely not. There's not a whole lot that gets me riled up immediately, but that will, because I've been through a lot of medical trauma, and God was nowhere to be found. It was the doctors that helped me.
What are you talking about? You were just in the hospital
let's stay on topic.
yesterday.
Let's stay on topic.
And now you're out.
What's your best evidence? Well, actually, this kind of lines up with a little bit of what we're talking about. How about we get to the question? What's your best evidence that God loves women and kids?
I mean, your host here, she said she was in the hospital yesterday, and now she's out.
My pronouns are they, them. My pronouns are they, them.
I would say my best evidence is just yesterday. I mean, if you missed it or was under a rock, I mean, it was Easter. We celebrated our Lord and Savior risen, his resurrection. It's more than a popular story. I mean, it's history.
Well,
there was witnesses that actually saw it.
We're asking if God loves women and kids, not whether God's real.
Of course he does. So the first person the Messiah revealed himself to was the lady at the well.
The lady at the well? I'm not sure how that demonstrates that he loves women and kids.
Well, because it was her that he used to proclaim his I'm lost for the word right now. His ministry, you know, through her that he
Not sure
actually
how that. Yeah, I'm not sure how that follows. I mean, just because he revealed himself to somebody doesn't mean he loves them.
he revealed himself to a woman first, not a
Yeah,
man.
I'm not sure how that demonstrates that he loves them though.
Or you can read the words, and he tells her, like, you know, I'm giving you, if you drink from me, I will give you water of living, of a living water. You know, you won't have to get thirsty again. He was letting the lady know that, hey, I know you're going through some stuff. I know you've been through some stuff, and you need to put it down, follow me, and drink from my well so you can have an everlasting life. He was
Still
giving her
not
the
sure
good
how that.
stuff.
Yeah, I'm still not sure how that demonstrates it. Like, how do we know he was giving her good stuff?
Because she went and told everybody that, you know, she met the Christ and the Messiah, and that, you know, he told her everything. I mean, she was very positive about her message to the
I'm
people
still
when
not sure
she
how
had her
that.
interaction.
Yeah, I'm still not sure how that demonstrates it though. I mean, it's just he just told somebody, and then she went and believed that he was the Christ or the Messiah. There was lots of Christos back then and Christ back then, but she thought he was the Messiah. Okay,
I
I'm
mean,
not sure how that
this is
demonstrates it.
also this is from a anonymous account. Like the Gospels are completely anonymous. You know, so how can you know this is actually history?
Yeah,
Well, I mean, that's another question now, but it's definitely history. But if you want me to make a case of that God loves women and children, I would say make the case that he hates them. I mean, right? Isn't that logical? Like,
I mean, I can do that. I would, but you believe that he loves women and kids, but we should be able to, you should be able to demonstrate that, like, right? Like, do you know for sure that your mom loves you?
yeah.
Okay, and how do you know that?
You know, it's just a knowing.
You just know.
Yeah, she loves me to the best of her ability, as
Mhm.
best as she can.
Mhm.
Is with the mind that she has, at the heart she has, with the body that she has.
Okay. And
Mhm.
and so if one of us said, well, we know God exists because we know, like, would that be an acceptable answer for you?
Absolutely.
It would. And you
Yeah.
stop becoming a believer? You just believe us?
If you said God is real,
No.
I would believe him.
I said God's not real because we know. We know God's not real because we know.
Oh, he's not real because you know.
Yeah,
Well,
because we
you
know.
can-
Is that, well, I mean, is that an acceptable argument? Like, would that convince you that he's not real?
No, not at all.
Okay. Well, then how would you expect, because I'm here to be convinced, so how would you expect that to convince me? Just saying, well, because I know.
Well, do you want to be convinced, or
Yeah,
are you
that's why I'm
more
asking, what's your best evidence? Yeah, I want to be
being
convinced.
cynical? It's not like you're being cynical. I mean, to
Oh.
be convinced, it's not a convincing, it's a knowing. You either know or you don't.
Well, it does say in 1
Convincing
Peter
to
3,
be-
verse 15 that, oh, WTR Dragoon just subscribed. Thank you. Appreciate you. It does say that, 1 Peter 3, verse 15, that be prepared to give a defense for anyone who demands an accounting for the hope that's within you. And so,
You haven't asked for the hope within me.
yeah, well, this is part of it. I'm asking for an accounting. I'm asking for receipts.
Okay, so from my personal experience and testimony, for like me personally, hear me out. It's very sick. I mean, I developed some chronic, debilitating pain in my neck, and it lasted for about 9 days. Long story short, 9 days was when I hit my point of, and this was day in, day out, not sleeping, not eating. And I reached out to my brothers and said, hey guys, I need some prayer. Like, I don't know what's happening to me. Like, I'm going to all these different doctors. I've been to the ER. I can't get any relief for like this pain. I felt like I was probably just passing away. And it wasn't until I got that note out to people to pray for me did folks actually, I mean, did I actually start feeling better like on the 10th day? And then by day 14, I was completely like, you know, people checking in like, hey, how you doing? You okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling good again. Like I'm feeling back to my old self. And I'm like, only thing I could say is thank you for your prayers. And they're like, yeah, you know, prayer changes, prayer works. And I'm like, wow, I've never had an experience like that before in my life where I can, you know, I ask them, because I've prayed myself all the time. And I've never had an experience where I asked people to pray for me. And I literally, truly felt healing rest on my body. So, I mean, that's my personal experience. I mean, it's probably not convincing because
well, only because we hear this from every like believer who believes in a God, right? Like they have like, you know, they did some type of prayer.
And you still don't believe?
No, because that would mean every belief is true. Like every God exists.
So you hear this all the time, but you don't believe it.
Well, because I hear it from Hindus, I hear it from Norse pagans, I hear it from Buddhists, I hear it from Sikhs, I hear it from Muslims, I hear it from Wiccans, I hear it from, you know, Greek. There's still Greek God believers, Zoroastrians. I mean, I hear it from every believer of every religion. So that would mean that every belief is true. Okay. And so if all the beliefs are true from personal experience, then what of the people like Ember here who has had some struggles with health and praying to God when they were a believer, and that would, so then based on Ember's personal experience, and please jump in when you need to or want to, but based on that and my own personal experience with praying and not getting prayers answered, that would tell me that there is no God. So, so if we're purely going on personal experience, then
I have had severe medical issues in my past, and there was nothing. I had tons of people praying for me, and nothing was changing, nothing was improving. I've actually experienced, even though I just got out of the hospital, I've actually experienced better overall physical health since I deconstructed since I deconverted in 2018 than I did when I was actually in the religion, because I was so upset and sad all the time that God wasn't listening to my prayers, God wasn't hearing me. And so that increased my anxiety, my depression, all of that. There was no God to be found.
Yeah. So I think based on that, stay woke.
Is that your diagnosis or a doctor's diagnosis?
That means there's no God.
I had a whole ass liver transplant.
God is good.
No, doctors are good. Doctors are good.
better.
I also had most of my colon removed. Doctors are good. I have had amazing surgeons that I am very grateful for. This has nothing to do with God. It has everything to do with human beings who have studied medicine for years and years to be able to do the kinds of surgeries that they did on me for me to be okay and for me to survive them.
Yeah.
If that's what you believe, but I know
not a
that it
belief.
was
I
God.
have actual direct evidence that
You
the
don't know
doctors
that,
were.
but I
Yes,
know.
I have direct evidence. I have direct evidence that the doctors were the ones who worked on me. The doctors are the ones who helped me. The doctors are the ones who actually used tools and all sorts of different devices to get me to the place where I am at today, because I am almost 10 years post-transplant, May 3rd, and it is because of doctors. It is not because of any God.
I believe that you believe.
Yeah. Okay. Well, see, we gave you our evidence, so now it's your turn.
I believe
What's
you
your
believe
evidence?
that, but I know
It's not a belief.
that it was God.
It's not a belief.
So we'll just disagree.
No, it is not a belief. It is knowledge, because I have direct evidence from the doctors, from the surgeons, of what they did. I have scars on my body from where the doctors worked on me and sliced me open. It is not a belief. I have the literal knowledge that human doctors helped me.
You don't want to come up here with that. Whitey.
Where's the evidence that they were going to be successful? Do you have evidence that they were going to be successful?
Yes, because they have a
That's the evidence I want to see, that you knew you was going to walk out that hospital.
Stop talking over me. They have evidence of their past surgeries. Like, this was not I need to put like faith in them. I trusted them because of the evidence that they were good doctors who had been hired by a university level hospital that was doing these important surgeries.
Yeah.
Sure, we have percentages that it may not work, but overwhelmingly these surgeries do work, and I was putting my trust in the doctors.
I would say, if anything, we have there's a higher probability that it works, because if you look at the studies on prayer, it's no better than a coin flip, and they can't directly correlate the prayer to the successful outcome. Like, they can't separate it from if it was coincidence or if it was something else like that. But in cases like Ember's,
You can't measure prayer.
when there's, okay, then why believe it if you can't measure it? Can't measure it, then how do you know it's true? Can't measure it, how do you know it's real? How do you know it actually works?
It's spiritual.
What's that mean?
How do you measure the spirit?
Well, I don't think there is a way, because
Like, how do you measure something that's spiritual?
Yeah, I don't believe in anything spiritual. So yeah, you're right. Again, we don't know what's spiritual, because what is it? What even is spiritual? Like, how? Yeah, if you can't measure it, you can't test
just
it, you can't
because-
see it, taste it, anything, then why even believe in it?
Well, he did.
Dragon.
I
All
love
right.
that one.
I know. I think I
Yes,
like
saw
that
it.
one. All right.
I
All
saw
right.
it, and I was just
cool.
waiting.
We got
for
the
it to come
dragon,
up.
so we gotta let you go. Stay woke. Appreciate you coming up. I think I'm gonna stick with the dragon. That was
I
dope.
like the dragon, so it will need to
That
change
was
the
dope.
little ticker.
Yeah,
That
we're
was
gonna have to.
really
We're gonna change
cool.
that. Speaking of
was great.
dragons, we have a Dr. Dragon, Dr. Elijah. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, my friend? How are you?
I'm doing well, sir.
And I want to
well.
make sure I say hello to everyone else on up here on the panel. And since it seems to be so hard to do, I just want to set an example. My name is Dr. Elijah Frazier. I am 38 years old. My pronouns are he, him, and that's how that goes. It's kind of easy to do that. So I just want to.
Yeah, that took like
Set
what,
that.
4 seconds, 3 seconds?
I think I got about 2.5, if you want me to be
Mhm.
honest.
Yeah.
But
2.5. Yeah.
yeah, no, I of course, I'm a fan. No, I support. But
Thank you.
I-
Appreciate
you
you.
let him go before the end. But there was a very clear black and white contradiction, especially when he asked, how can you measure it? But his previous example is how he measured the things that weren't working, and then called out for prayer, and then the prayer worked. So you just measured the very thing that you said couldn't be measured.
Exactly.
And if that were to be stated, you would have definitely moved the goalposts. The difference between an argument or a debate is this is not a hill that I have to, can I say the D word on? Yeah, this is not a hill that I have to die on.
Yeah.
This is a hill that I'm educated on. So going back and forth with even your pastor, this is not that. This is clinical. This is licensed. This is ordained. This is degreed. I am telling you what the setup and what the design is. I'm not here to argue or go back and forth. This is like you walking into a medical doctor's office with a bad migraine and cough and headache, and he's like, yeah, you got laryngitis, and you're like, nah. And it's like, well, this is kind of what I do. I know what laryngitis looks like. But unfortunately, with the marriages, the abuse, the things like that, a lot of people do not recognize the fact that they are in a trauma bond with what it is they believe in. A lot of people can't even tell me the definition of a trauma bond. And that's how I know you don't know you're in one, because you don't know what one looks like. So with that being said, I'm a fan, I'm a friend, and I definitely enjoy the body of work as always. So
Thank
I just
you.
wanted to come hang out with you.
Thank you. Hey, anytime,
We
man.
appreciate you, Dr.
Yeah,
Elijah.
we do appreciate you. We do appreciate you. All right.
I appreciate it.
If I
I
may
think-
ask,
I think the next guest is. Oh yeah, go ahead, Welsh. We have an interesting guest coming up, but I'll just bring him up. Go ahead and ask.
What are you a doctor of? Dr. Elijah, what kind of doctor are you?
I didn't even hear you. Sorry about that, man.
Hang on, Whitey.
So I have my PhD in human psychology and behavior with a minor in theology. So I actually went to school to become a licensed and ordained pastor. Went to seminary. Then I got into psychology, double majored, graduated, found out some tangible, measurable truths. And that's where I landed. I don't have a goal to debate. I don't have a goal to make you believe or make you unbelieve. I have a goal to get you to the healthiest place, and I do it with facts.
That is a.
Do you think SSRIs are healthy for people?
Yeah. Hold on a second, Whitey. Just
Like
chill.
Prozac and Xanax?
Yeah. Chill, Whitey. We're just stay muted.
We know you've never seen a therapist or a psychologist, but just a second.
Well, also just boundaries. I told you to hang on, so just use some restraint, please. All right. So go ahead, you two finish.
That was my only question. But that's definitely useful for conversations here. Hopefully.
Absolutely. No, it is. And you get out there, there are feelings and emotions being tossed back and forth. So the goal really isn't to get to the truth. The goal is to audibly volley my feelings and my thoughts and my experiences. The goal is never to get to the truth for a lot of people. And, God forbid that someone has an opposing thought or something of that nature, and rather than expose the truth, you would you defend the way you feel. And my goal is to help people, is to recognize the way they feel, but ask them: is your goal to have your way or the healthiest way? Is your goal to be right? And before I even get into a conversation with people, I ask them all the time, can you be wrong? Is there a possibility that you could be wrong? Because there's a possibility I could be wrong. You present me with tangible, measurable proof, and hey, I'm from the mountaintops with it. Like, I am wrong. Such and such showed this to me and did that, but that never happened. So one of the qualifying questions I always ask people is it a possibility that you could be wrong? If the answer is no, there's no use of me investing my time.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Whitey. Okay. Thanks for waiting, Whitey. Okay, you can unmute now. Can I get your age and pronouns, Whitey?
I'm 26 and I'm a male.
Okay, that's your sex. Thank you for that. Which pronouns do you prefer to be referred to as?
If you're addressing me, I'd prefer you use male pronouns.
Male pronouns? Which ones are those? It could be they, them. They could be. We have males who refer to themselves as she, her.
It could be them. It could be he. It could be him. It could be.
Okay. Well, we'll use she, her because there are males who refer to themselves as she, her. So is that okay? Those are male pronouns.
She, her, are male pronouns?
Yeah, some males use she, her as pronouns. So we'll use those. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All
you can use whatever you want. It really doesn't matter.
All right. Thank you, Whitey. Okay. So everybody, she's been waiting. So let's just give her a round of applause for waiting. Thank you. Which God do you believe in, Whitey? The God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran?
Probably the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Joseph.
All right. What's your best evidence that God loves women and children?
Causality, what's written in the Bible and our life.
Causality, what's written in the Bible and our life. Okay.
If you're going to refer to Samuel and say that the Amalekites being ordered to get slaughtered was a direct or a contradiction on God's morality, I would suggest you think about it critically.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then help us out with
that. Or
that.
If you don't know the whole story, I'd be happy to teach you.
Yeah, sure. So as far as the Amalekites are concerned, so you're saying that's evidence that God loves women and children for ordering the genocide on the Amalekites? How so?
Without a doubt.
How so? How's genocide loving?
If God were to unalive Hitler, you would probably say that's bad. It's not good that God unalived Hitler because you.
Can we say Shitler, please? Thanks.
Yeah.
Shitler. So he's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. The story of the Amalekites was that they're raping and pillaging and burning babies on sticks and fornicating.
Where's the evidence for that?
I mean, it's written in the Bible. It's the story.
I know that's true.
You can read the context. It's very important.
Read the context? How does context make something true?
Because if you're trying to say that God is immoral because of something he ordered.
Are you driving?
It's very important. Yeah, I am. It's very important here on my boat.
Fuck
Yeah.
off. Bye.
Can't drive in live. Sorry, Whitey. So, yeah, we're still playing bingo pokey. Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
So just pull over to the side and come back and request up. We'll still talk to you. I don't know how much longer, but we'll still talk.
Well, that's I always want to make sure I ask permission before
Yeah.
I speak. I don't want to just jump in there.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. I think it's probably in this kind of forum, it's probably better to just kind of jump in like popcorn style because because a lot of times, you know, guests will just go on and on and on. So sometimes you just got to jump in.
Got it. Well, on my platform, I feel okay to jump in, but anytime I'm on somebody else's, I gotta ask, man.
Nah, you're fine.
You put too much work into this, but the only danger I feel with that is if I feel unwell, if I feel sick, tummy ache, headache, migraine, something in my body is not right, and I go to the hospital and and I go see a doctor, nurse, whoever the specialist or professional may be, and I say, Doc, I'm not feeling well. The doc says, hey, this is what it is. And I say, Doc, I don't believe that. I don't know about that, man. My spouse tells me this, and my family tells me this, and I read this. The doctor would never say to me, well, go to medical school. The doctor would never say that. The doctor wouldn't go say, read, S1522, like a medical book. The doctor would never go say that. The doctor would say, hey, well, I know you didn't go to medical school and things like that. Don't worry about that. That's what I'm here for.
Bluetooth isn't the same as driving. Sorry to interrupt. Bluetooth isn't the same as driving. You cannot be driving and on live. Sorry. Go ahead, Dr. Elijah.
No. So that's it. That's where I land that plane. And this is why I say it is a volleying of feelings, and believers are not doing the work that their Bible tells them to do to minister, to save souls.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are grandstanding. You're saying, well, go read it. Well, the Bible says, okay, I don't even know where to start in the Bible. Like, there's a way to navigate the Bible. Even when you read the Bible, you do not start at Genesis. So you're just telling someone to go read the Bible, and then what? Understand it for myself. So when people come and say, well, I'm a believer, well, why are you a believer? Since when? Where's the evidence? Where's separating the facts from the feelings?
Exactly.
And a lot of us cannot answer these questions. So again, and no, you do not start at Genesis when reading the Bible, guys. I got a little piece of paper that says I might know that.
Well, I did, and I will say it is the long way. However,
yeah, the long way.
But you know what? As long as you finish it, it'll get you to the same spot. I promise that.
Oh yeah.
Which is, how do you believe in this shit? That's where it gets you to. I mean, if you're actually reading it. I am skeptical of people who said they've read the whole Bible and still believe in God. I am skeptical.
No, it is not, because reading the Bible isn't just reading it.
Exactly.
If you've read the Bible, you're not just reading it, and there's no way you are reading the Bible and you are not intentionally getting rid of logic.
Yeah.
Because in one space, I'm supposed to be proactive, believe and go. Another space, I'm not supposed to lean on my understanding. In one space, I need I have a protector, but then you sent a savior. Well, if I have a protector, why do I have you're going to leave me one day? Like, parents raise their kids because one day we know we're not going to be there.
Yeah. Exactly.
Why are you testing me? Are you going to leave me one day? Is there something like,
right.
So there's all of these things, and you do have to set logic aside. And that's not a healthy thing to do.
That's not a good thing to do. And Bandmaster J, it says, my reasons for being a believer won't be the same as yours. You have to allow God to work in your life. And see, that's the thing. You're talking to people most of us have already done that. And, how does something that doesn't exist work in your life? It's just that simple. And Yeah, go ahead,
If
Ember.
I could, just one thing that I'll also say about the Bible and Christians reading it is that even from when I was a young kid, I was told that the Old Testament is boring. I was told, we're going to try and read through the Bible, but we know that, Numbers, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, those are all boring
Yeah.
books. And it wasn't until I got older that I realized the reason that they do that is to get people away from reading the horrific things that God does and that the Israelites do in those books. They're like, oh, it's so boring, you won't like it. But then, yeah, I didn't read it thoroughly until I was an adult.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And so Sean Ornery says, you never knew God. And so if you know God, then come up and show us, just like what Dr. Elijah said. This is your opportunity to tell us who God is and show us who this God is. It's your opportunity to minister to us. I mean, I'm going to ask the panel here, if you were given definitive evidence that God is real, would you believe God is real?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, following would be a different story.
Following would be a different story, yes. But yeah, absolutely. So all of us up here, if you gave us evidence that God is real, we would believe God is real. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. I mean, if it's that easy, if you're so convinced that God is real,
While
then
we're waiting on that.
Yeah, we're waiting. We're waiting.
Yeah.
We're right here.
Yeah.
You've got 4 souls that you could save right now, which is what your duty is as a Christian. That's your duty. Matthew 28, verses 19 and 20. And because of you, Dr. Elijah, I've implemented this into my live stream. I say this almost every day.
Yeah. It is and then we go and asking someone, is the Bible full of facts? Is it full of metaphors, similes, things of that nature? Because facts
Absolutely,
should not be different to everyone. Like, I'm sure if I ask, to me, 1 + 1 is 2. Well, if I were to ask someone else that, they would say the same thing.
Exactly.
And then someone else would say the same thing.
Yeah.
For there to be
So I'm in
different
a gym
interpretations
right
and
now,
things of
so you
that
might have
nature.
an echo. It's kind of hard for me to. I'm trying not to speak and be disruptive of everybody, but my quick little 2 cents. Not trying to argue or bash or anything like that.
Here, go finish your workout, sir. Go finish your workout. It's not like you just come up here and start talking, so.
Like, there's literally other people on the panel.
He was literally, Dr. Elijah was literally talking.
Speaking.
He was like, yeah, sorry, I'm at the gym right now, but there's an echo here, but I just want to get this out real quick. I'm like, bro.
I'm just gonna say my shit real quick,
and then bounce. Like, come on, man. just wait till you're done, man, and just wait your turn.
Maybe do a scoop less of protein powder next time.
So, before you were rudely interrupted, Dr. Elijah, what were you gonna say?
It is the facts of it all. When something is tangible and factual, it's measurable. It's a real thing. Even for example, saying a word in a different language means that same thing no matter who you say it to or where you say it. In the Black culture, in the Black community, we have a running joke of speaking in tongues. Same sound, same pronunciation, same everything, and it means something different every single time.
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. If I say hola, it's gonna mean hello. It doesn't change just because someone else says, and that is not true in this language.
Yeah.
So once again, a lot of people do not have a goal of getting to the facts. They have a goal of sharing their feelings. And it is very hard to convince an addict that their drug is not helping them.
Oh, for sure. For sure. That's a great analogy. It's a great analogy.
Like, no, you don't know my life, man. This is doing more for me than so.
You don't know. You don't know what I've been through. Yeah.
You don't know.
You don't know. Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna drop down. I do have an appointment. I wanted to give flowers. Panel, thank you guys so much for allowing me to share some space with you guys. Always love it, and thank you again.
And everybody follow Dr. Elijah.
I appreciate it. I really appreciate it, man. I would definitely be back soon.
Fantastic. Hey, enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Dr. Elijah.
Same to you, my friend.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Bye.
So
I love it when he comes up to educate.
Yeah, same.
It's so great.
Oh yeah, it is. Absolutely. I love it too. So I'm just glad. Yeah, Mike, finish your workout and have some creatine, and all that. And then, because we got questions, we're not here to just do drive-bys. So we don't do drive-bys. So
The cadence of his voice is very nice. Dr. Elijah.
Very true.
Mhm.
Very true.
Mhm.
Yeah. Very true.
Easy to listen to.
Oh, very, very much so. And he does a lot of like life coaching stuff on his platform. And and it's some pretty cool stuff that he does. So
I love that.
yeah. But it's like legit, not like the life coaches out there, right? That are all scammers.
No, like yes, because that's kind of what we have is we have kind of like a coach, me and Bri versus like a technical therapist, but she's super educated.
Right.
And it's just she feels like she's able to help clients more.
Yeah.
And she has more freedom by being a coach versus being a therapist.
Right. Not somebody who's done like a 6-week course, like on
Exactly.
the Black Belt
Like,
Sigma or whatever the fuck it's
right.
called. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
And then suddenly they're a life coach. Yeah, exactly. No, this is so W on PhDs for sure. If you got yourself a PhD, you can give in my book, that I think gives you just gives you the opening to give advice. I mean, you spent that much time in school, and see, there's Dr. Joe. I mean, you spent that much time. You have, and especially if because that also a lot of times it comes with the practice, because you don't. A lot of PhDs they actually spend time out they have like real world experience, right? So a lot of it is combined with that. And, but except, yes, we are DNA. Thank you. Not PhD Ken Hovind though. No.
Yeah,
No.
Ken Hovind literally got his PhD from a shack.
From a cereal box, I heard.
It's basically a shack in the
shack
in like Oregon
Nebraska or some shit like that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, if your PhD papers go back to a PO box, then no, that's the exception. It's got to be an accredited school. So just saying. All right. Okay, Mike, I know you're requesting up again, but no drive-bys. So if you're only going to say like one thing and dip, then we're not really interested. So just tell us what you want to, if you want to do that, just tell us what you want to say in chat.
Yeah, it just makes me feel like you want to hear yourself speak.
Exactly. And we're here to be convinced. Yeah.
On panel.
Yeah. What's saying one thing and dipping going to do? It's not going to do anything. So just say what you got to say in chat. Just type it out, and then you're done. No need to come up here. Oh, congratulations, Pokey. That's amazing. Pokey just submitted her application to go back to college today. That's amazing.
Oh, good job, Pokey.
Excellent. And you know what?
I love that.
Yeah, I love that. I say it's never too late to go back. Never
Definitely
is.
not.
Even if you're
I'm still
85, go
thinking
back.
about it.
Yeah.
I just have to decide if I want to, in order to change my major to what I want, if taking the math classes is worth it.
Yeah.
So that's the only hard part is
Yeah.
being 36 and not having, done like math
Yeah,
for
exactly.
years and years.
Yeah.
So,
And
but
Arcadia
it's
Jade.
exciting.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'd say do it, but that's just me. But Arcadia Jade is in school now. Yeah, Dr. Joe went back at 40 for the master's and then back for the PhD. So yeah, absolutely. I would say it's worth it. It's totally worth it.
I mean, I'm already subscribed. I'm already subscribed to finish to get my master's by in the next 2 years.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah.
But
I'm in school now.
I've
Do it. I'm
always been
36. Absolutely.
I've always been accelerated, so I might get a year and a half if I study hard. Which I do. So
look at all these people, man. We got to look at all these people get their masters and they're in school now. I mean, yeah, you're doing. Yeah, it doesn't matter what the age is, man. It's just a big. I think it's I think what it is it is almost like part of the shame culture. Like if you don't have a degree by the time you're 22, you know, and you go straight into college from high school and you only go for 4 years or less, and you have to have your degree by 22, then it doesn't matter. You don't deserve it, or you're worthless or whatever. It's just this. I think it's just part of the culture that we push this.
Yeah. I just have a super academic mind, so I love learning.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why I have 3 degrees already.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like I have this aspiration. I don't know. I'm a little bit ashamed to admit it, but I have this aspiration. It's actually come up lately only because in like the last year, because of this live. Like I was just thinking, what if I was the worst PhD physicist in the world? Like just, you know, I just get in at the bottom. Like, would that still be good? And like I think about that, right? You know, I'll just pick like the worst school on the bottom of the, you know, that is still accredited and all that. That's legit. But like,
there are schools that like have a 96% acceptance rate.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking, and I could get my PhD in physics, right? And Discovery Institute hires the worst PhDs ever. I don't know if I go to the Discovery Institute, no, but like, I don't know, you know, yeah, like something like with a 96%, you know, acceptance rate, you know, and then you go back for that. Because I mean, I have my master's in something else, but it's got nothing to do with science or physics. And so I'd have to like probably do all like the lower level stuff. And student Barry passes as a doctor.
So I do have an idea, and I keep having ideas, and I keep like having stuff come up, and it is difficult. Like, sorry, we didn't watch the movie this weekend, guys. We will next weekend, but
yeah.
I have an idea that if we have so many people in the community who are going back to school, we might want to do like one of the voice channels being like a body doubling.
Body doubling?
Yeah, so that's for neurodivergent people, especially people with ADHD. Yeah, like a study hall. They call it body doubling because it's a lot easier for us to actually like study and do stuff if it's with another person. Same is true for like chores, errands, all of that. If we're with another person, it's much easier to get it done. So
let's go.
Yeah, then I'm just gonna say, if I do go back to school, y'all, and I take math classes, you're helping me with my math.
We got you. This is gonna be a whole community effort.
Yes.
Like, we got you. We're gonna be like Chegg and fucking Khan Academy and all that shit all wrapped up into one. Exactly.
Yes. Oh my gosh, this makes me excited. Like education is so good.
Yeah.
And if in these like wild times we can still like hold on to education and grasp it and go after it as we get less and less educated things going on all the time. This is a big weapon.
Absolutely.
Of ours.
Absolutely.
Is education, and the more we know, the more we can fight against the system.
Absolutely. All right, I'm gonna change one of the, because we got too many voice channels anyway, so I'll just rename one of them to Body Double Study Hall. There you go.
Sounds good.
BDSH.
Woo-hoo!
Body Double Study Hall. I know it's close. But not the same. Exactly. Close, but not the
Oh
same.
my God, that's actually so funny. I didn't realize how close it was. That's so funny.
Not the same. Not the same. Body Double Study Hall. All right, Will, thanks for waiting. Appreciate you coming back. I remember you. How you doing?
Yeah. What's up? How y'all doing?
Hey, we're doing well, sir. We're doing well. So
That's good to hear.
Yeah, welcome back. And you're still a Christian?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, well, what do you got for us today?
Yeah, I just want to first start by saying, Ember, I'm totally rocking with what you were saying. Yeah, education, super important. Super proud of everyone pursuing that. And I wish y'all the best in y'all's endeavors, because you're right. The best way to fight against the system, the powers that be, whatever you want to say, is to stay educated and to know your stuff. And it's hard for them. It's hard for them to keep us down when we're educated. So I like that.
Totally agree.
Thank you.
Yeah, totally agree. So now the last time you came up, we had a pretty in-depth conversation on 2 Samuel chapter 12. And I was just curious, did you get a chance to look at the YouTube playback?
Oh no, I mean I remember the conversation. I did look into 2 Samuel 12, and it sounds like you were exactly right. Like there was not consent involved in that, and what y'all were saying is an accurate description all the way back to the original Hebrew of what happened.
Yep.
Yeah, and my I guess understanding of that is, my understanding and my belief is that God is perfect and all loving. And I know that's really, really weird to juxtapose with what happens in 2 Samuel and in other places of the Bible. But I kind of look at it as God is all knowing, all powerful. He speaks existence with his words. He spoke this universe into existence with his words. And so he's infinitely smarter and more knowledgeable and more wise. He can see the future and the past and the present at all times.
Sorry to interrupt. Rainbow Ash, the $2 super chat. What now at Talon BZ? So looks like the Gauntlets Throwdown. Thank you for the super chat. 9 more and I do an Ask Me Anything. So there you have it. All right. Sorry. Go ahead, Will. Just
anyways, my point.
Chat. Yeah.
No, it's cool. It's cool. Anyways, my point being is that I am a finite human with a peanut brain compared to God. So there's some things that he does that I'm just like, wow, I don't see how there's good in that, but I trust that must have been the best outcome for that specific situation. It's the same reason where
Peg the Patriarchy super chat of Canadian $5. Thank you. Appreciate you with a heart. Appreciate that. All right. Sorry. Go ahead. I got to shout out the super chats.
Do your thing, man. Do your thing.
Yeah. All right. All right. You're good. Go ahead.
Yeah. And so I kind of look at it as, like if I was a kid, right, and I want to eat lead paint, and I just really want to do that, and I don't see anything wrong with that. And my dad says, hey, don't eat lead paint. That's bad for you. As a kid, I'm not really going to understand that. I'm like, why can't I do that? I want to do that. That sounds super fun. And I'm going to see my dad as some evil guy who doesn't want me to have fun. But I don't see on the other end that he's protecting me from literally dying. So that's kind of how I see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, see, I know what you're saying. So now I think the lead paint example, I see where you're going with that. Being prevented from eating lead paint. Now, even though you may not understand as a young child, why you shouldn't eat lead paint, right? And we have evidence of why it's bad for children or anybody to be exposed to lead. We have a mountain of evidence of it. So you may not understand today. Yeah, you would agree at some point you would understand, right?
Yes.
Like within your lifetime. So can you point to me some way we can understand in our lifetime why it's justified to punish innocent people with grape for somebody else's sin?
Absolutely not. No.
Okay.
And the reason behind that is because that would insinuate that as long as I can read every book in the world and become smarter than the best AI model, which they're not even smart, that's just predictive language, but that's a whole nother can of worms. If I somehow became the smartest person to ever exist in the universe, I would still be a peanut brain compared to God. Just because I am a finite human And no human will ever be so smart to where they could see what will happen a million years in the future. But God is.
I got you.
So no matter what I do in my life, I will never be to the point where I have an inkling of understanding of the universe compared to God.
If God were evil, then how would you be able to know whether or not God were evil? Because I'm assuming that you wouldn't want to worship a evil God. I mean, unless you do,
Correct.
then it's a moot point. It's a moot question. But if you don't want to worship an evil God and you have a finite brain that's peanut sized compared to God's brain, how would you then be able to tell whether or not you're worshiping an evil God?
I would look to the Bible as evidence. I mean, and I understand that your position and also our friend's position on the panel is that we can't take the Bible at face value, right? But as a Christian,
I mean, here's the thing though, because the very thing that you're using to determine God's goodness is exactly the passage we found 2 Samuel in the exact same place, right? So that's exactly the thing. So are you saying that what we read was good?
I'm saying that if we take the Bible at face value, the overwhelming evidence is that God is good. Is that a fair claim?
The overwhelming evidence? Okay.
Yes. Based on what the apostles say, the prophets say, based on, all of that, the overwhelming evidence is God is good and everything he does is out of love.
Okay. So based on what they say, so I guess what you're doing is you're kind of saying, well, all these people say this. So to me, that outweighs what happened in 2 Samuel. Is that what I'm hearing?
I wouldn't phrase it as outweighing. I wouldn't even frame it that way. I would say that sorry, were you about to say something?
Well, I guess what I'm trying to understand then was the command God ordered in 2 Samuel, was that a good or evil command?
So I'm going to say that if God says it to be, then it must be good, even though I may not understand it in the moment. Kind of like that guy's example of Schindler, kind of like that, damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. Maybe if that wasn't the outcome, something far worse would have happened, but I don't know because I can't see the future like God can.
Okay. Because I would, like someone like Schindler, if it was a case of having to unalive him to save other lives, because that would be a case of self-defense, right? And that's actually what the Allies were going to do. That was their plan. That's why he offed himself. And, well, maybe not. They really wanted to capture him for his war crimes, but he was going to be tried and executed. Now, if it's a case of, let's just say, they found Schindler in that bunker, and he had, say, his wife, in front of him, and he's about to do this, and then they pew-pewed him. Okay, I think that's justified.
I would agree.
God striking him down just because, well, then you'd have to question, well, why'd you even let him be born in the first? I mean, it just invites all other slew of questions, right? But I think what I want to get back to is this notion that whatever God does and says is good. And so then that kind of goes back to the thing you didn't want to admit the other day, which is that means that the command that God issued to have the wives raped was good. You have to say that.
Yes. Okay, and that's what I just did say. Yeah.
Well, you said anything he says, but I think what we really need you to hear,
which would fall under the umbrella of what he said. Yes.
Okay, so God commanding grape is good. You would say that.
Yes, but multiple things can be true at the same time. I think it's a shame that happened at all. But at the same time, anything that he says to be commanded is good. With the situation that led up, the entire situation of David committing adultery and basically murdering that woman's husband on the battlefield, that's a complete shame and evil of David to do. I think you and
that justifies the women, his wives getting raped. That justifies that?
I don't think I don't think the right word to use for God's action is justification because he invented morality itself. So I don't even know how that would work. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it just feels like God is a God of do as I say, not as I do. that God gets to do these actions, and it's, it's because he created morality, and yet telling human beings to do differently. And plus, like, David's wives suffered, and his son unalive unalived, when he was still able to be called a man after God's own heart. Like, God
Yes.
loved David specially and allowed him to do these horrific things and didn't punish actually him. That is evil. You have to be shutting off a part of your brain in order to say that it's not evil, because if a human being did that, it would be evil. You're giving special pleading to this God.
Yeah.
Because
You know
it is
what
this-
special, you know what the special pleading fallacy is, Will?
No. Would you enlighten me, please?
Yeah. You want to explain it, Ember? I'm sorry, I jumped in, but I wanted to know if Will knew
No,
that.
yeah, you might be better at actually explaining the specific definition.
Essentially, carving out an exception for, well, in this case for God, for no other reason than that he's God. And, so he just gets an exception to every rule because he's God. And
yeah, okay.
That's what,
I see.
And it's a fallacy, because if there's no, you said, well, you can't have a justification, which is actually it's a hallmark of special pleading, but you're saying, because if you have no justification for why God gets this exception other than he's God, then it's a fallacy, because it's unfalsifiable, it's unprovable, anything. It just shuts down the conversation, and that's
I
all there
like
is
where
to
this
it.
conversation is going, and it's getting very interesting. And I would like to address a few things that y'all said. So first, I'm going to address. You said something. Oh yeah, God says, "Do what I say, not as I do," which has a bad connotation to it when a human says it. But when God says it, any believing Christian will look at you and say, yeah, that sounds about right. That's exactly what the Bible says. God is the judge. He is judge, jury, executioner when it comes to it. The Bible never actually says that, but he, obviously does strike people down. In the Bible, it happens.
Wait,
Humans are not
do
allotted.
judges get different morality than the people that they are judging in a court? Like,
I
do
would
they
like
get
to-
to do things that people wouldn't normally do?
I would like to finish my point. Wait, sorry. Can you repeat that? Sorry, I'm sorry.
I'm wondering, because you're saying because God is judge, he gets to do these things because he is judge, jury, whatever, all of that.
No, I'm not arguing that. Okay, so you're taking it somewhere else where I was trying to finish my point, which is
Okay.
fine. We're having a conversation. I'm saying God gets to say, "Do as I say, not as I do," because he has certain allotted rights because he is God, and because he can see the future, and because, let's say, okay, this is a weird analogy, but I hope you follow me here. Let's say I'm cooking a dish and I know the recipe like the back of my hand. And would it be smart for me to say, "Hey, I really want to make this dish. Let me let my friend make this dish who has never made it ever, and just hope it turns out good"? No, I wouldn't. But then they're going to say, "Well, why do you get to cook the whole thing and I can't make these decisions?" Well, it's because I know what's going to happen when I make this dish, and I know it like the back of my hand, and you don't. So you just need to trust me that this is going to be good. You don't know, so you're going to need to trust me. And that's that comes back down to the peanut brain and omniscient,
Okay.
That comes back to that.
Let me ask then, because you didn't really, because we're kind of back to this. You didn't really address this. The question that I had was, well, you said because of what's in the Bible, but we have now what we have is like a circular argument, because you're first saying, because we're saying, well, what's in the Bible, that, so everything that's in the Bible is good. Everything in the Bible that God says is good, and we know it's all good is because it's in the Bible. So it's kind of like this, right? We're invoking a circular argument, and you and I both know this isn't going to charge anybody's phone, right?
Okay.
And so, because we have to have we got to get to a point when, and this, we call this what's called viciously circular. If you, like you said, you do software engineering, you do software programming.
Yeah.
You know what a loopback is?
Yes.
Okay. And what's is loopback a good thing or a bad thing?
No, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, but I'm saying for the sake of argument,
exactly what that is. It's a loopback.
We started this off though as for the sake of the argument. As a Christian, I'm going to take the Bible at face value. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, and we've done the same. So we've taken the Bible at face value. We didn't interpret it, which actually is kind of a breath of fresh air. I'm not going to lie, because I just had a guy do a response video to that exact same chapter and verse, and he said God did not command grape, which I'm like,
yeah. So I would disagree with him.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, exactly. Are you kidding me? And so to me, that's just a whole nother level of cope, because he's just denying that this happened, and and I'll respond to it in time. But I mean, at least you're just like, yeah, I mean, you're standing 10 toes on it. It's not comfortable to hear, but at least you're standing 10 toes on it. I think the problem though is that, so now we're kind of addressing this, this circular argument and the fallacy that we have. And so
but I also addressed the fallacy and why it applies to God. As a Christian who takes the Bible at face value, that special pleading fallacy cannot be applied to another human because they're not all perfect and all loving and all knowing, but it can be applied to God because he is the only person you can specially plead to, because he is God. Well, as a Christian, taking the Bible at face value.
Sure. I think that at the other part of it, the reason why it's a fallacy, Will, is because it's unfalsifiable. You can't demonstrate that God is perfect and all knowing and all loving and all that. You can't demonstrate that. It's just a declaration. It's a claim. And so we have to kind of go back to that.
Sorry to cut you off, but I can find evidence of it if I am taking the Bible at face value, though. Would you at least grant me that?
Well,
that there's evidence of God's love in the Bible.
Well, then we're back to the circular argument, because, I know God's good because everything in the Bible says he's good. You see what I mean? It's going back to a circular argument.
I would challenge you with this. If I can't prove that God is loving by using the Bible, then you cannot prove he is evil by using 2 Samuel 12.
Actually, I can. And the reason why is because you said it yourself.
Oh my gosh.
Well, so then that means, then you'll have to say grape is good, right?
I'm going to say that whatever God commands, it is out of perfect love and perfect knowledge and wisdom.
Yeah. So we're kind of going in a circle.
That statement alone is just horrifying, and it does not think about how traumatizing that action would have been to the women who did nothing wrong, who had to take the punishment for a man's decisions and his cruelty. They have to take the punishment. They have to have the mental anguish, the mental trauma for the rest of their lives because of that. A good and you are shutting down a part of your brain. I promise you this, because we see this all the time. You are shutting down a part of your brain so that you can give this special exception to this God, because any human being who does that, we look at their life, if they commanded grape and they were able, to do that, we would see them as a horrific person. We wouldn't see them as still a good person.
Right. But I think we should probably as a group agree to disagree on this subject, because we are going in circles, because I believe that God is all perfect and omniscient, and whatever he did, it was the best outcome for that scenario, and y'all do not. So I would like to address
best outcome. I'm sorry, I'm not going to stop harping on this, because best outcome for who?
Yeah,
best outcome for
I don't know, because I'm not all knowing, and I really wish I had the perfect understanding.
That is a cop out.
I really wish I
It is a
could finish a
thought-terminating
sentence.
cliche. It is a cop out, and you are excusing grape, excusing trauma, just because you want to believe, you presuppose that this God is good, and therefore it must be good. You're just using presuppositions that he has to be good, so all of this must be good, and you just don't understand it.
Okay.
Instead of maybe this God is actually pretty shitty.
Yeah.
Ember,
Yeah. Well, go ahead and state. I got a question after you said you wanted to say something. Then I got a question for you.
I would love to address the actual question, which is why I came here, to be honest. But I am enjoying this conversation, so I don't know.
I mean, it relates to what we're. Yeah, it relates to the topic.
I have specific passages. I have a specific passage that I would like to talk about, though.
Well, but
if y'all want
that
to
just
continue this
completely
conversation,
disregards everything that I just said. Like, you were just kind of, you just shut that down because you wanted to go in a different direction. You're pivoting. You're running away from this point.
I'm not. I think we've reached ahead in the conversation to where we've reached a fundamental disagreement to where we will never agree on. And I don't think it's very productive to continue talking about it. Unless you have any...
And then it's probably best for you to drop down.
I mean, if that's what y'all want, I will happily step away. I mean, I enjoy our conversations.
Because you're not going to listen to us about any of this. You're going to continue special pleading for God, and your only evidence is going to be good things that he supposedly did in the Bible.
Right. Yeah. But okay, let me stop you there. My point of that was, and I agree. If I'm totally fine if I'm not allowed to have evidence of God's goodness and love by using the Bible, I'm totally fine with that.
No, you can.
But what I'm not.
Just,
but what I'm. But
we can
listen,
do
but
the,
listen though.
We can do equivalent with the Bible showing that he's not. I mean, it can just go that way.
And that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do. But I feel like I'm getting cut off when I try to make that point. Is what I'm saying. Like, if you want to use the Bible at face value for the sake of argument, I'm not saying you have to believe it. I'm saying for the sake of the debate, if y'all are able to use certain excerpts to show that he's evil, I am also able to use certain excerpts to show that he's not.
Okay.
I really don't want emotion to get in this.
No,
debate.
we're not.
Hey, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah. So let me kind of put it this way then, because if you're saying, I can cite all these passages here, you can cite all these passages here. Okay, so I'm going to cut to the chase, Will. This is really easy, and this is a really easy analogy. So if you had a family member who, by all accounts, you think is just the best family member ever. Let's just say it's an uncle. Every year he brought you presents. Every year he comes and hangs out with you. When you were a little kid, you got to sit on his back, and you'd play horseback. You'd play video games with you, all that stuff. Right? He was really, really cool uncle. And you found out one day, let's just say in your adulthood, you found out one day after all that your uncle tortures children in his basement. Are you still sitting next to this uncle at the cookout?
No, absolutely.
Next time you see him?
No. I probably wouldn't be at the cookout.
You probably wouldn't be at the cookout at all. All right.
Yeah.
So this kind of blows up the whole, hey, I've got passages that show God is good, because then let's say your mom comes up and you say, Will, why aren't you at the cookout? And you say, well, come on, man. I just found Uncle Ray, he's torturing kids in his basement. And your mom says, well, what about all the times he was nice to you? He brought you your favorite video games. He got you a PS5. Yes. He took you to a basketball game. He did this. He did that. He did this. He did that. Does that overshadow anything regarding the torturing kids in his basement?
Uncle Ray is not an omniscient, all-knowing, all-powerful, all-loving God.
That's special pleading. So one more question. So then what about that?
Am I allowed to speak from the perspective of a Christian, or you are speaking
from the perspective of a Christian. Remember, we're doing this. We do this every day with Christians. Okay, we do this every day with Christians.
But if I'm speaking from the perspective of a Christian, I have to give special pleading to God because he is God.
Well, then that makes what we're saying is that makes your position irrational, because it's a fallacy.
It's not irrational. It's not irrational.
It is irrational. Because you think it. Just because you don't think it's irrational does not mean that's the case. Because what you are saying is not correct. What you are saying is irrational. It is illogical. It does not follow.
Then anybody
who is educated in logic, in rational thought, would say that the way that you are special pleading is illogical, is irrational.
Okay. Then can I pose something real quick? Can I pose something without?
And then I got an analogy for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So let's do logic. Okay. Let's do logic. Okay. From the perspective of a Christian, there is a God who is uncreated and eternal, the Alpha and the Omega. This uncreated God speaks into existence the laws of physics. He speaks into the existence science, DNA, animals, nature, weather. He sees a million years in the future and he sees a million years in the past all at the same time. And with a breath from his mouth, he can change outcomes like that because he knows how it's going to all calculate out. Okay. So that's the perspective of a Christian.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. Understood.
So logically, if this is what I believe with that basis, then logically, whatever this God does, he is all knowing, and he knows that if I do this, this is going to be the best thing that's going to happen for this situation.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I've calculated it out. Even though it might not look good it might not look good to Will, who doesn't understand because he's not omniscient. I do.
Okay.
So,
hey, Will, we got a sorry, that's an early kick pull. All right, keep going. We got the early kick pull. So go ahead, keep going. Actually, I do have a were you finished? Because I have another analogy for you.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, sorry to interrupt like that, but okay. So then my question is like, okay, so you're saying it doesn't matter. Like because this is a fallacy, right? So I'm going to take it back to, because you're a coder, you're a software engineer. If you have a line of code that is faulty, it's pretty obvious the code will not run, right?
Yeah.
Even if the coder says, even if you point it out to the coder and he says, yeah, but everything else is correct, it's not going to run.
Peg is saying kick coupon.
Okay. All right. We got the kick
I'm out of
coupon. Yeah. All right. Yeah. We
All right,
got to send you back down. Hey,
look,
appreciate you, Will.
I want to say one more thing before I leave.
No, you got to
I
go.
appreciate
Sorry.
you.
I got to heed the kick coupon. Yeah. I appreciate you though. Have a good day, Will. So
Oh my God.
I was gonna do one more thing, yeah, while the vote was going on. But so Darth Gently, you get to keep your early kick poll since Peg invoked the coupon. But
kick coupon, was it kick coupon or was it kick poll? Because Peg is saying it was a kick coupon here from Gently.
Oh, it was from Gently. Yeah, I started the early kick poll, but okay, well, that's all right.
Oh, we didn't see it over here.
Well, I saw it. I saw Gently had, and I was starting it.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't start it quite yet. Okay, I see.
That's all right. It was I was getting rough because I think it was just the double, triple, quadruple down on the well, I mean, gentleman, nice guy, tried to have a conversation, all that, understood. However, it is just the analogy I was bringing forth was Will has a faulty line in his code and his code isn't going to run because it just stops. It's just that if you know anything about software code, it's just all it takes is one bad line to throw out the whole thing. That's what a logical fallacy is. So you can't say, well, even with the logical fallacy, it's true. God is all this, all that, all this, all that. It's a logical fallacy. So that means it's just dead in the water. And
it was quite frustrating though that all he was doing was nice talking grape apologia. That almost frustrates me more than the people who get super emotional about it.
Yeah.
Because there's no emotion toward the victims. There's no emotion towards the women and the children who were harmed in their Bible, in their belief system, and I mean. And it just, I don't know.
Well, it's a special pleading with divine command theory, sprinkled on top. That's all it really is. It's just whatever God says is good. Whatever God says goes. And we're just kind of pleading with you, with anyone who believes that. Ember and I are pleading with you that if this God then commands grape, which Will was willing to admit, if God then that means grape is good when God commands it. And just sit and think about that for a second. Think about your nieces, your cousins, your sisters, your mother, your girlfriends, your wives, or anyone who is vulnerable. A person with Alzheimer's. God commands them to be graped, then it was good. That's what we're talking about. That we still haven't talked about the devil. Why would we? The topic is God loves women and kids. Why would we talk about the devil? So why are we trying to pivot away from God? So you just have to accept the discomfort that you're feeling. You don't want to talk about this, and that's why people are trying to pivot away from this. But because maybe that's your sign, that's cognitive dissonance kicking in, and that's your sign that, oh, well, maybe there's an issue here. You know, I think it's just time to be intellectually honest with yourself. Lots of theists have a mercy system, not a justice system. Ooh, that's a good point, Arcana. And show,
Brendan,
thank you.
I care so much because he was defending harm.
Yeah.
That's why I care. I don't know why you're talking about my emotions being chemical reactions. Like, why are your chemical reactions not important than a what?
Yeah, I mean, it's just again, it's just pivoting. We're trying to pivot away. We're employing like ad homs. It's not, I mean, it's like, yeah, it has nothing to do with what we're talking about. So let's bring up the next guest, the Equal Universe. Yeah, technically you defended the Holocaust. I mean, you could just go to the extreme. All right, the Equal Universe, how's it going?
Hey guys, how are you?
Doing well. Can I get your age and pronouns, please?
Yeah, I'm 66. He.
Okay. And which God do you believe in? The God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran?
Well, I believe in the statement that Jesus said that ye are gods. So I believe that I am God.
Okay. I want to talk to people who believe in the Bible, the Torah, the Quran. But I appreciate you coming up. All right. And okay. I think this is an accidental request, but we're going to find out. We're going to see. Hey, Nicholas, how you doing? It is. Okay, everybody give Nicholas. Nicholas accidentally requested by tapping the like. So let's give Nicholas some stuff. So hopefully when he notices, he'll just have like a shitload of coins. You're awesome, Nicholas. So Nicholas does this from time to time. So but this time Nick didn't respond, so he probably has his phone down or something. He was too polite to be a Christian. Well, I gotta say, I know. See, the thing is that Ember is abrupt and like to the point, which is great. And I will say that the last guest, excuse me, the last guest would have gotten it way worse on somebody else's live. I promise you. Would have gotten way worse. So, I think the fact that we were actually pretty easy on him, considering. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we did stop him in his tracks a couple times. But he was really saying the same things over and over again. Oh, look at you guys. Oh, that's amazing, chat. Nick has 164 coins and still hasn't noticed. So we're gonna keep Nick up here. And we're gonna keep Nick up here until he notices. Are you the only accepting panelist who accept the Bible as literal? I'm accepting panelists who have evidence, and I want to talk to people who believe in the God of the Bible, the Torah, and the Quran. So, you're saying I am a God, then that means you don't accept Jesus Christ as your personal savior. So it's the only people I want to talk to. Because it's in essence, the reason why is I'm not really interested in people who have their Build-A-Bear gods, that have who've like come to this conclusion that it's something other than what it is in these, in these holy books. And you have no evidence of that, and we're just going to go in circles. So it's basically, trust me, bro. God is loving and loves women and kids because I say so. Well, it's not much of a conversation you can have with that. So up to 304, Nick. Well, Zeno, that's That's what they do. They kind of massage. They just they strip away all the bad parts that they don't like, and it's all the cutesy, furry, big eyes, all that stuff. The warm, fuzzy stuff. Yeah, it's a Build-A-Bear god. That's what it is.
Yeah, I like what Dr. Joe said. That's why progressive Christianity is ultimately disingenuous. I mean, that was my last grasp onto Christianity before I deconverted. Like it was Calvinism before I started deconstructing. And then I was a hardcore Calvinist
Holy
in
shit.
college.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
I
one of these
I was
days.
a Theo bro.
a
I
Phil bro?
consistently debated theology in college, like,
Oh my
not officially, but
god.
like with my classmates all the time.
Oh my god. Oh my
Yeah, I was
god.
all about tulip. I was all about like all that stuff.
That is something.
Mhm. Yeah, but I started questioning it
Come on
while
up,
I was in
KB.
college. And then deconverted. Like it was progressive Christianity before I deconverted. And it was just kind of like it felt disingenuous because I was like, I have to forget all of these terrible things that God did in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, Nicholas.
Hey, Nick. Oh, he still can't hear us.
That's so funny. Maybe we should mute him just in case.
Okay, we'll mute Nick. Yeah. Okay, that is so funny. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, I got to remember to do that next time. KB.24, come on up. In fact, we'll invite you. We'll invite you up. You want to talk to, you're right. Let's not talk to a lukewarm one. If you're smoking hot, let's come on up, KB. Sorry, go ahead, Ember. You were saying.
I forget what part I was at.
You were progressive. You were hardcore Calvinist in college. You started questioning it, and then it was your last step before deconverting. Yeah.
Yeah, because I had to forget all of the terrible things that God had done in the Bible in order to be a progressive Christian, and I basically outgrew the Bible, if that makes sense. Like I outgrew the religion.
Totally makes sense. It completely makes sense. Yeah. What's up, KB? How you doing?
I'm doing well, man.
Hey, yeah, good. Yeah. Hey, I just got to do age and pronoun check. What pronouns do you like to go by, and what's your age?
I'm 20 years old and just he, him. I'm straight, man.
All right. All right. So, and then you're a Christian?
Yes, sir. So my question is, I don't know how to word this. So you're saying that you guys are saying that God does not love women and children.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and you're holding a specific text speaking on grape, correct?
You mean the entire Bible? Yeah, I'm holding the entire Bible. Right, that's the specific text I'm holding. Yeah.
Right. Well, I was speaking more of like actual passages. Sorry, I worded that wrong.
Oh, yeah. No, I'll stand 10 toes on lots of passages in the Bible, not just one. Not just one. It's dozens.
From my understanding, right? When the world was started, okay? Because you can't have good without evil. Like we know that's logical, deductive reasoning. We see that in everyday life.
Okay.
But when you guys are talking about the Bible, we're not having any contrast. In the Bible, it says that this world is the devil's domain. God had given the devil said, credibility to do A, B, C, and D and allow his influence to take over. And that's what happened.
Got a quick question. Is there evil in heaven?
If we're talking, well, that really depends on what your interpretation of heaven is.
Okay. What is the Christian interpretation of heaven?
God is God. That it's a beautiful place. It's perfect.
Okay. So if it's perfect, so that means, that doesn't really answer my question then. Is there evil in heaven? Because you said you can't have good without evil. So that means there's evil in heaven, right? So people can murder in heaven, people can steal, people can grape.
According to the text, when we die, right, where it talks about a brand new world, okay?
Yeah.
So in theory, right, with God, right, according to what he's saying, there shouldn't be any evil in that world.
Okay. So then you can have good without evil. So you just contradicted yourself.
Not true. If we're talking about a physical domain, this is a physical domain.
A physical domain.
Bible,
Okay, so only physical domains have good and evil? Why?
Hold up. Let me finish what I'm saying. In the Bible, right? It says God gave basically the devil permission to have this world. Like, it is his domain. He can do whatever he would like willingly.
Yeah.
So God is not necessarily, the doer of evil, right? And by no means am I saying what I personally, I don't think I can look at God and be like, yo, this guy is doing evil, when he literally has a counterpart.
Okay.
It's already premeditated, pre-designed, you know what I mean? That there is going to be an evil doer in this world.
Well, why does it say in James that God is the purveyor of all? It makes no exception for evil.
You're not wrong in that. He doesn't make any exceptions for evil. You're right.
Okay. So that means he is the creator of evil. And it says in Isaiah 45:7, he brings the light and the darkness.
I didn't say that he wasn't the creator. I said that he's not the doer.
Okay. So he's not, he doesn't do evil. And okay, so then when God commands grape, that's not evil?
It's hard to put in the words because, again, I have a fleshly body, right? When you look at the Old Testament, it talks about the authority of God and tradition. In the New Testament, it's a personal relationship and the authority. So okay. I can't sit here and be like, yo, God does evil. No, he's the creator of evil. There's good and evil, obviously.
Okay.
But
now,
with that as well, like there's not much else that can really be said outside of the devil is an influence through, like, he is evil. Like that is what the essence of it is.
How do we know that's true?
Says it right in the Bible.
Okay, and how do we know the Bible's true?
The Bible has been kept all throughout history. You even go and you look back in the book of Enoch, which I don't want to really get into that because that's a whole nother can of worms. But in the book of Enoch still refers to the Bible. Bible refers to the book of Enoch. We've got stuff way back when in BC, CE, like all of these different things.
Okay.
All these different things. You know what I'm saying? There is physical evidence, and then we also have the world as it is. There's evidence of all types of different things that relate to the Bible. Sorry. So
okay.
I get where you're coming from, and I am trying to take your guys's how you guys view things into consideration as well.
Understood.
I just feel like if we're going to talk about good and evil, love and not love, I feel like we also need to incorporate the fact that there is in the Bible, it talks about another force.
Okay.
That lies on evil. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. So if I'm hearing you right, then that means when God commands genocide, God commands grape, God commands slavery, sex trafficking, all that's good.
That did not once come out of my mouth.
Well, no, what you're saying, everything God doesn't do evil. That's what you said. So that means, and if there's only good and evil, that means that those things were all good. They're not evil when God does it.
So when the world was created, there was no evil, right?
Okay.
Right. You see, you're
I hear
talking,
what you're saying. Sorry. I gotta stop you. I didn't hear an answer to my question because you did say God doesn't do evil, right? You said that. And if God doesn't do evil, that means that when God commits genocide, when God commands grape, when he commands slavery and sex trafficking, that's all good when God does it, right?
See that, you're asking me a question that I for a fact I can't answer because that's not good. I'm not going to sit here and put my morals to the side and be like, yo, that's good. Okay. Obviously it's not good.
Okay.
But like I said.
So what is it then when God commands it? Is it good or evil?
In the Bible, it literally says the devil has Satan, Lucifer, the Sunbringer, however you want to title him.
I hear you. I know you're trying to pivot to the devil. I'm talking about when God commands it. So when God commands genocide, is that good?
Again, I've already told you no.
Okay.
I'm trying to lean towards this so I can explain why that is.
Okay. Because it's not good when God commits genocide. All right.
The Bible is not a direct line. Me and you both know that. We can't look at the Bible and be like, yo, this is the clear path. Like, that's not how the Bible is. The Bible is meant to be interpreted. Like the last two guys, he said, yo, hey, I am God. I get where you're coming from that too. In my opinion, I also think that's false.
Okay, then. So then help me out here then. Help me out, KB. So if you're saying, well, obviously it's not good, but then there's nuance to it. I think that's what you're trying to say, right? When God commands genocide, it's not good, but there's a nuance. Now, I'm not asking for a purpose. I'm not asking for a reason. All right. Okay. I'm asking whether or not it's good. And you already said it's not good. So is it evil?
See, it's just like it's a very hard line to walk in a conversation like this, because I have to also
should be easy
stick to my morals. But at the end of the day, there is that line between good and evil.
Okay.
Now, I can't sit here and be like God is the one doing evil when he commands it. It's a touchy subject. I don't have all the answers for that, but I will say, if we're looking at it from a logical perspective, then I have to give it to you. Like, yeah, technically that would be evil.
Okay, so God does do evil then.
If you're putting it like that, yeah.
Okay, what other way could you see it? I mean,
because again, when it comes to God, man, he has a counter, like he has that quote unquote counter for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, I don't know how to, I'm not the best at articulating my words. I have an understanding of it. So back to what I was saying earlier, right? In the beginning, there was no evil, and Eve was the first one to be influenced by said sin. Since then, we've all been condemned.
Okay. Well, I hear that. I just see a lot of things that aren't adding up. It's not making sense, because if you're saying in the beginning there was no evil, okay, that's fine. Yet I hear that really has nothing to do with God committing genocide, right? Doesn't have anything to do with God commanding people to be raped. Right?
The point being is not God commanding them. The devil is an influence. It's like any drug.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? So
hold on, I gotta stop you there, because in the Bible, God is specifically commanding rape. It's not from the devil. It's specifically God commanding rape.
Well, okay, I see.
It's not the devil. It's God.
I don't know. I don't know how to. Matter of fact, read the passage off to me.
All right, let's pick one. There's quite a few in there. All right, let's pick one.
Just pick
Chad, I'm gonna go off of I'm not gonna do let's see.
It doesn't matter.
There it is.
Matter what.
Yeah. I got one. I'm not gonna do 2 Samuel this time. I'm gonna do a different one. Okay. So here, give me a second, I'll pull it up here.
Take your time.
Yeah. Because I see where you're going. What I'm saying now, you would, let me kind of preface this. So you would agree, KB, that the Mosaic Law are God's commands, right?
Okay.
You'd agree with that?
I'm here. I would agree with you.
Okay. So let's look at Mosaic Law here. All right. Can you see that above my head? This is Deuteronomy 21. So this is God's law, one of God's commands, as you said. When you go out to war against your enemies and the Lord your God hands them over to you and you take them captive, suppose you see among the captives a beautiful woman whom you desire and want to marry. And so you bring her to her home, to your house. She shall shave her head, pare her nails, discard her captive's garb, and you remain in your house a full month mourning for her father and mother. After that, you may go into her and be her husband, and she shall be your wife. So let me ask you, KB, after mourning her mother and father for a full month, did she give consent here to let somebody go into her?
I mean, nah, but this is also another one. This is also another one of these verses, like these passages, like
So,
fuck, man.
All right. Well, come on, man. Yeah. And you know what? I appreciate you like standing up, and I know it's tough for you. I know it's tough, but
I don't know how to like articulate it, man. Like for me, I understand what this is. Like I understand what this means as far as like the underlining behind it, like the actual, the thought, like the thought behind it.
Okay.
But the actual like straight word for word, that's horrible.
Yeah, I hear you, and I know what it's behind it too. I get it. What I'm asking you though is it, because if it's not consent, you would agree it's grape, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yes. Straight up.
Yes.
So it's either one or the other. So this is grape. This is God's command. This is God commanding grape, allowing grape.
This is just like my thing is like it says once you go in, you go out, right? You take captives. Like for me, this is more like, I don't want to say an arranged marriage, but like in a sense, it is, but it ain't.
Okay.
Oh no.
Also, you also have to remember times back then too. It's tradition. There's tradition.
That's a bingo spot, FYI.
That's definitely bingo. It was the times. Bingo spot. So
I'm not trying. You're right. Let me not do that. But like I said, in the Bible, it's the first half of it. The whole Old Testament heavily talks about tradition. The second whole talks about the authority and your personal relationship with God.
Okay.
So when it comes to the Old Testament, I read it, but I don't read it with face value. I read it with the understanding.
I think that's
so
the problem.
your argument is grape is traditional, therefore God condones it. And by the way, I'm apparently up on the panel. Hello, everybody. It's not really.
Nick.
Hey, Nick, what's up?
I have my earphones off. I'm sitting there cleaning house, and I come back on, and I'm like, I'm in a panel. What the hell?
Oh.
Hello.
Welcome,
Nick.
So, is your excuse really that an all-knowing, all-wise God who sees the future of 2026 and sees that this is really, really wrong, he's going to say it's okay because tradition? Is that really your argument?
It's not my argument, but what I'm saying is like we're pulling from something that things were way different back then.
So does tradition override God?
Nobody is saying tradition overrides God.
Okay, then why did God not say do not do this because it's horrendous and you're going to cause PTSD?
We don't do arranged marriages like we used to back in the day.
This isn't an arranged marriage. This is captives. Captives are slaves, essentially.
And
this is not an arranged marriage.
Because this is a captive and then being converted into a wife. Yeah, it's not arranged.
No matter how you slice this passage, like it looks, sounds, and is just at face value, it's terrible.
Yeah.
I'm not a blindly led Christian. Okay, I understand that there is good and bad in the Bible, but saying that God is inherently evil when that's not the case, like that's the only reason I even typed anything in the chat is because I don't believe that God is inherently evil.
Oh, I got you.
I believe that there is like. Yeah. I won't lie. Like there is some stuff that I've genuinely sat down and questioned. Like, wow, like is that really my God? But at the end of the day, I still lean and put my faith in Him. Because
I mean that's fine, but that doesn't mean you have to make apologetics.
God is inherently evil because we have a character like the devil.
Okay, well, hey, bro, just I think it's like a 10 toes chest out thing. You know what I mean? Like. You just got to say, because of the times, it was okay for God to command grape. You just got to say that.
Hold. Say that one more time for me.
Because of the times, it was perfectly okay for God to command grape.
I'm not saying that either. That's
well,
not what I'm saying.
I mean, that's kind of, well, you're saying it, but you're not saying it. Like you're dancing around it. Yeah, just stand on 10 toes, chest out, and just say, it's okay for God to command grape if it's within the times.
Nobody has ever said that.
Well, you did. You said it. Well, we got to remember it was the times. That's what we did back then. You know.
No, I didn't. All I said was tradition back then is very different. I
Yo,
personally,
small town
I
science.
personally am not going to be able to. I can't go back in time and be like, yo, like what was the real context behind this? I have no
Okay.
idea. You know
How
what I
does
mean?
context? Well, how does context show something as good or evil?
Context absolutely does matter. The Bible has been rewritten how many times over? Catholics literally took out parts of the Bible.
I'm asking you, KB, how does context show
Context
make
is-
something good or evil? Yeah.
Context is huge in all aspects, regardless of if good or evil.
Okay.
I'm
So
saying
What
that
context makes this
the
okay, though?
Yeah.
The example that you are showing me right now, there is zero argument for me to make outside of the fact that what I'm reading is bad. I can't argue that, but what I am saying is I don't believe that God is inherently bad.
All right. So this kind of goes back to the question I asked the previous guest. So, uncle at the cookout who gets a wife this way, but by all other accounts, you think this uncle is good, but you find out that your uncle went into another country, had a woman, killed her entire family, and then after a month went into her and then married her up. Are you good with that, uncle?
Obviously not.
All right. So I'm trying to understand then if obviously not for the uncle, why are we excusing God from this?
I'm not gonna put him on a pedestal. All right. I don't know, again, I don't know what to say to really give you the best possible answer for that. Like I said, from what I've read, from my understanding, my personal research, I have zero reason to believe that God himself is inherently evil. I do believe
this isn't good enough reason.
I do believe that he does have, like, he's got people that go out and do his dirty work. You know what I'm saying?
Reason.
There's
Can I bring up another passage that affects it affects women and kids as well in the Bible, but it's the whole story of Job. I mean, God murders women, children, animals, or lets Satan do it, lets the devil do it, just because of a bet. He just makes a bet with the devil and it's for fun. There's no reason. It's just for God to show his power and how his people will trust him and love him no matter what happens to them. And he just does it for funsies.
If that's how you would like to look at it, I can't argue against that. That's your personal view.
Okay, so
You know what I
KB,
mean?
if let's just say over a bet, with God, Satan unalives your entire family, and then God restores your family, but it's a completely different set of people. Are you good? It's not the family. It's not the people you once had, because you would agree he's powerful enough to just resurrect those people, but he just gives you a whole different family, whole different set of people. You good?
You have to try and put it into perspective. Like,
that's what we're trying to do, brother. That's what we're trying to do.
His wife said, "Curse God and die," because there was so much. Satan or the devil, God even allowed him to get boils, and I don't know. I've only had one what I think was a boil in my life, and it hurt so bad to think that they would be all over your body, and not that is after losing all of your children, your cattle, and then somehow this brand new family is supposed to make everything better.
Yeah, you get giant under the skin zits that you can't squeeze, and they're painful all over your body. Because
it still just comes down. It still comes down back to what I was saying, right? When God created the world, there was no evil. All right.
Okay.
He put the devil there. He put the devil there to tempt us, to test our faith. And what did we do? Being human, we failed.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so
because it was a setup.
The world
because they were set up to fail.
The world has been plagued. But you would not know that. You are not an almighty force.
What we can tell in the Bible, because if God is all knowing and God knows what is going to happen in the garden, he knows what they're going to do. He does not have to put
the tree of the knowledge of good and evil into the garden. He did not have to do that. He already knew what was going to happen. We didn't fail. It was a setup. Because he knew it, still decided to do it.
Yeah. I got one more for you, TB, and then we'll let you go. Because you're kind of saying the same thing at this point, which is cool, but you're more than welcome to do that.
I'm not here to win arguments.
Oh, I know. You're here to talk, and that's all good. We're not trying to win an argument over you. But
no. Yeah, honestly, I
actually,
really
Ember and Nick, take this one over. But you see the verse above my head. I gotta take this call real quick. So go ahead.
So Deuteronomy 28:63 says, "And just as the Lord took delight in making you prosperous and numerous, so the Lord will take delight in bringing you to ruin and destruction. You shall be plucked off the land that you are entering to possess."
Yeah, again, it's also, if you defy God, you don't follow him.
But God already knows that these decisions are going to be made.
Again, it's one of those things where it comes down to faith. He put the devil here to test our faith, to see if we were going to truly show love and loyalty.
But it's not really a test if he already knows the outcome.
Okay, the point of those outcomes, though, like those quote unquote, he already knows the outcomes. Right, I got that. You can say that all you want, but at the end of the day, he gave us the option, the ability to decide on our own. Right? You don't get in
can't decide. You cannot decide something that God does not already know. If God knows I'm going to eat an apple tomorrow, I do not have to stop talking every single time I talk. Stop. If God knows that If God knows that I'm going to eat an apple tomorrow, I cannot choose a banana. I don't have the ability to choose a banana. Foreknowledge means that free will cannot exist. You cannot have free will with a God that knows everything, and a God that takes delight in bringing you to ruin and destruction. Like Trust highlighted that. Like, not only does he know, but what's going to happen, he takes delight in destroying people.
Yeah, he takes delight in eradicating sin. Yes.
You think that that's okay? You think that that's okay? Hold on.
So because you asked me a question,
No, because there's multiple different kinds of people in the world, and you think that just because good people may make mistakes, and then God is going to take delight in bringing them to ruin. Just because I don't believe, but I'm a good person, and I'm always trying to do better every day, educate myself more, be a better person to those around me, that God is still going to take delight in bringing me to ruin because I didn't believe in him and because I was supposedly a dirty sinner.
Like, he's going to enjoy it. Yeah, he's going to enjoy it.
KB, does God have a plan, an overall plan? KB,
we lose you, KB?
KB, you're muted.
I don't know. I don't know what happened. My bad, guys.
No worries.
Somebody probably muted you because you were over talking.
Let me finish. Let me finish let me answer the first question. And then by all means, I'll be happy to answer the next.
Okay.
I don't know where her name is. The one at the very
bottom. Their name.
There?
Amber, you wanna ask it again?
Yeah, can you ask it one more time?
I
just wanted to make sure I was following you, like, with what you were saying. The question just got completely.
It was taking delight when you're trying to be the best person you can be, and
like,
just for disbelief.
Yeah, like I'm a good person, right? But supposedly I'm going to hell because I don't believe in this God, nor would I follow this God if he did exist, because of how evil he is. But even though I'm a good person and I try to do better every day, I try to educate myself, I try to take accountability when I need to take accountability, all of that stuff, he's still gonna take delight in bringing me to ruin because I didn't believe in him.
So Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question, and I'm gonna answer yours. What for you? Okay, what is God's ultimate message? Like when you read the Bible, what is the reoccurring message that He tells for people to do?
That's not an answer to my question.
I'm not
because I believe this God, I do not believe. Hold on, KB, you really have to stop talking. Oh my God, you have to stop talking over me. You have to stop talking over me.
3 times since I've tried to answer your question. Can I please answer
you just asked me a question, right? You just asked me a question, and now you're not letting me say my piece.
I didn't. I was not finished speaking. Again,
you asked me a question. I'm sorry. Did he not ask me a question?
Yeah, you asked them a question.
He asked a question.
Okay, you know what?
They're trying to answer your question. Well, was it? Well, hang on. Was it a rhetorical question?
There was 2 parts to it. But we'll start with the one. What is God's ultimate message that keeps referring, like He refers back to?
Yes, and what I'm saying is that does not relate to what I asked you.
And but there's a point to you answering that. All right, I'm gonna get into that.
No, I don't like the answering a question with a question. Just answer the question. Just answer the question, KB. Just answer the question, please.
Okay, so in the Bible, right, the ultimate message, love, peace. Right, like we all get it, right?
Wait, no, the message of the Bible is not peace. We do not all get that the message of the Bible.
In the Bible,
it
talks God. He just wants everyone to love each other.
That is not true. That is not true.
I disagree.
When you look at it, the ultimate message, He says it.
No, none of this is true, KB.
Many times in the
This
Bible.
is your own personal bias.
Okay.
You're saying we all believe this. We all know this. No, we do not.
I didn't say that.
Or that it's objectively true. That's what it says. It's not.
I said anyone. Actually, you're right. I did word that wrong.
Yeah. Jesus
you're right.
Christ.
I apologize. You're right.
All right. It's all good. But yeah, just know, it's not, for us, it's not objectively true what you're saying. Like that may be your opinion, but that's not what I see when I read the Bible.
I apologize. You're right. I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
So for me, as a Christian, ultimate message is to ultimately just show everybody love. And that's just what I get. That's just the simplest version of it. All right.
Okay. Nick
is not sorry. I apologize. Can go ahead.
Nick, you had your question. Nick, could you ask it again?
So technically what the Bible, before asking the question, technically what the Bible preaches is love your neighbor. And in the context of those times, what neighbor actually meant was those of similar social status as you. It didn't mean everybody worldwide. But my question is, does God have a plan?
I mean, yeah.
So He has an overall plan from point A to point C.
Yeah.
Okay, so point A is creation, point B, Jesus, point C,
Poll started, everybody.
the new heaven and earth, right? So to get from point A to point B, which is Jesus, Adam and Eve would have had to eat the fruit, right?
I mean, yeah, in theory, yeah, that's true.
Okay. So to get from point A to point B, where He could create salvation for everyone, they would have had to eat the fruit. So if that was necessary to get to point B, then why were they in humanity cursed for Him doing exactly what He needed to be done to get to point B? Why are we being punished for His plan and what needed to happen to get there?
So we're not being. This just goes back to what I was saying earlier. The devil is an influence, just like
No. I don't. I'm talking about God's plan. I'm not talking about the devil.
We're just talking about God's plan. That's all we're asking about.
Okay, but again, you're asking.
Yeah,
why
I know.
This, why that? Why am I going to be? Why am I going to do this? Why am I this, that, and the third? Right? It simply comes down to faith. At the end of the day, it comes down to faith.
No, that's.
He's testing our faith
Poll is
every
closed.
day.
That's not. That wasn't.
Okay.
Your sidelining, you're pivoting.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey,
it's a very
KB.
simple
Hey,
question.
we
I
appreciate you
wasn't
coming up,
here.
KB. They voted to move on to another guest, but we appreciate you coming up. We have somebody else waiting. But hey, I appreciate you coming up on the invite and talking to us.
I love being on here with you guys. Hey, God bless everybody. Have a great rest of your day, man.
Next time, don't overtalk people. Thank you.
Yeah. And you know, I think we're just looking for, I know these questions, we are asking tough questions, not going to lie. We are asking tough questions. Just answer the questions, you know, because we're answering questions too. And mostly if they're relevant, but we're asking relevant questions. You know, we're not necessarily like going way off, you know, into the ditch on these.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and if you are going to come up to, like, those of us who are on panel deserve the same respect that you give trust, not to be overtalked, not to be constantly talked over when we're trying to say something, because we have knowledge as well, and we have something to say as well. And if you are incorrect on something, we will correct you.
That too, yeah, and you know, and yeah, we will, like, if we hear something that's just not correct, we'll just jump in and say, hey, and that, like what I did, I said, hey, you know, not all of us take that as fact, you know, that's your opinion, you know, so we should be able to accept that, you know, of anybody, not just me, anybody who's up here. And look, we all have our different personalities, but that doesn't make someone else any less deserving of, you know, the respect that I get as the host. So let's just keep that in mind. Darth Gently, I sent you a link to your card, so there you go. It's in the chat. It's only because I don't have like I can't DM it, so it's public, but that's okay. I mean, nobody else can really use it except you, so nobody else can mark it. Okay. And if somebody marks it for you, then great. Kind of like, why do you have, like, you know, like for my my heat bill, why is there a username and password? That makes no sense. Like, if somebody wants to break in and pay it, go ahead. I'm just saying, just go ahead, pay it.
Right? Like, I'm not going to stop you.
Pay my light bill, exactly. Go ahead. I ain't gonna stop you. So anyone wants to hack my light bill and wants to pay it, go ahead. I'm good.
My power bill, please. If anybody would like to hack my power bill account, you know, it's sitting at like over $300. I mean, winter hit hard. So if you want to hack my power bill, by all means.
Exactly. That goes for my cell phone bill. That goes for, you know, and people like got car payments. If you want to hack into those and pay them, just, you know, by all means, go ahead. Hacking into the mainframe now. See?
If someone wants my medical bills account, please.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'll publicly post it if you need us to. That's what it takes. That is exactly not hacking, is it? Right?
Ayo, I got quoted for $200 for my meds. So if anybody wants to hack my meds, like, please hack. Like, pay it, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like, so it's kind of like that. Like, you know, so if somebody marks your bingo card, it's all good. All right. We're going to go to Tiffany Gaines, and then we have Red Fury right after that. So let's bring up Tiffany Gaines. All right. How's it going, Tiffany? Hi.
All is well. All is well.
Good to hear.
I don't want to take up too much of your time. But
Okay.
I like,
just
the direction it was going.
All right. Just to verify, you're over 18, and then which pronouns do you prefer?
Yes, and honestly, it doesn't matter. I just want to. I am over 18, but whatever you guys choose to call me, I am she.
Okay. Fantastic. All right. And which God do you believe in?
I believe in the higher source, and I want to give some context with that.
Okay. Well, is this the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran?
Yes. Yes.
Which one?
Of the Bible. Let's just say of the Bible.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now and so next is, just what's your best evidence that God is loving to women and kids?
So I want to touch on Deuteronomy. I also want to touch on Job. And I also would love to tie in the slaughtering of babies. I have this conversation often, and I have agnostic atheist friends who are looking for compelling evidence, and I have atheist friends who are, and they can appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to start with Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy, you guys were talking about graping, right?
Yeah, Deuteronomy 21. Do you need to see the verse again? It's Deuteronomy 21, verses 10 through 14.
No, I don't. I'm actually driving, but let me pull over.
Okay. Oh, you're driving. Okay.
No, I just pulled over.
Okay.
I just pulled over. Okay. So in that context,
Noise cancellation, I swear. Go ahead.
Yeah. Deuteronomy is actually the first time in biblical text, in the Bible, where that law came in. It came into law. Initially, it was just, you can pick up any of these captives, and you can actually do whatever you want with them.
Sure.
What God was doing in this particular passage was saying, we are going to put some restrictions on this. You're going to let them mourn. You're going to let them wait at least 1 month. And you're going to, so in this context, it wasn't saying, hey, I'm authorizing as the higher source, as God, that you guys can do this in a month, go at it. Instead, it was saying, no, I want you to wait, give some time, let them mourn. And this is the first time it came in. That's for Deuteronomies.
Then you can go into her. So
exactly.
Now has the captive given consent?
That in itself is not the without the context, I can't say whether or not, because obviously that was the first time the law came into place where you cannot just grab the captive and take over.
Well, hang on. What context do you need to determine whether or not it's consent?
Allowing the person to mourn, giving some consideration, getting to know the individual first, because they couldn't return her.
Yeah,
right?
but I'm not seeing this. Do you see that anywhere here? So allowing her to mourn a full month after offing her family. So
which I'm not sure what part of that makes it consent. Like what?
Yeah,
what
that's
is
what I'm looking for.
consenting about the mourning?
Okay, so when it comes to consent, because I understand where you guys are, you're wanting the compelling evidence. I have to be respectful of that. What this passage is doing, if you read the entire context of Genesis to Deuteronomy to how it all correlates. It all correlates at some point, and then there's some supporting verses, which on a later time I could possibly give it to you. I'll send it to you directly. But when it comes to why this particular verse was here, what it meant was, it was saying God is literally saying, I'm enforcing this law right now, without the meaning of everything else that comes with it, without the gray areas. You are no longer allowed to do this.
Okay.
It's the perspective.
Yeah. And I understand what the purpose of this is. I'm not asking about the purpose. I'm asking about whether or not this is consent. That's what I'm asking.
Right. And
is this consent?
The only thing that I can answer to you as far as yes or no is the creation of the law is allowing consent. Without it,
has
it did
has the captive given consent here? Can captives give consent? That's probably a better question.
Right. And I'm going to say, if you're looking in terms of, if a person's been able to be there for a month versus someone that's been there for a second, maybe yes, maybe no. Right. So I'm going to go ahead and bow out on that one. I just wanted to offer some context of why that particular verse
we understand the reason why. We're looking at it's because if it's not consent, it's grape. You would agree with that, right?
I would agree with that.
So if we don't have consent here, that means this captive was graped. And if you're telling me that a captive can give consent to her in, the person who that by all accounts goes against, goes against everything that we know about consent. So I'm trying to understand, how could a captive give consent?
And I don't agree. There's, what is it, Stockholm syndrome? Eventually you start, you can become in love with somebody when you're actually being captive.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why they call it a syndrome.
Agree. So if we're just, so I will bow out if we're just looking for consent because the context is missing. So let me move to Job. Okay.
Okay.
Job Job 1 and 1, this is actually a philosophical, it's not a historical, and I'm going to tell you with the first verse. Job is placed in Uz. Job is not placed in Israel. He's not tied to any known historical king, nor is he connected to any real historical timeline, nor is there any such thing as Uz. It's kind of like saying in a far, far away land.
Yeah, we agree.
The reason,
we
right.
agree.
So the purpose of Job, when you're reading it, the goal of this passage is to say, we need to look from an author's perspective. If God was the only higher being that existed, you guys have to know the difference between suffering, just because things happen, bad luck, whatever it is. We have to put this in the worst case scenario so that you can see from a philosophical perspective how chasing or humbling yourself or all that doesn't matter. You can't live life in saying, oh, but if you live not in a good way, you won't suffer. If you do things this way and go to church, or if you read the Bible, or then you won't suffer.
Okay.
The goal of Job philosophically is simply just saying, you need to understand it has nothing to do with being good doesn't end in no suffering.
Okay.
It
so
just means, okay,
am
go
I
ahead.
hearing you right when you say then that this is an allegory? That's what I think. That's what I'm hearing. It's a metaphor. It's an allegory. So this actually did not happen.
Correct. And
Okay.
it's historically never been proven.
Okay,
And then
got
the location
you. Yeah,
is, he's
totally
not tied to any
I
bloodline.
totally agree with you.
Yeah.
100% agree. I 100% agree with you. But now, where I'm going with this now is, if we look at the story of Superman and Lex Luthor, right? We would all agree, you and the rest of us on this panel, we would all agree that Superman is not a true story, right? It's a fiction. It's a work of fiction. So can we?
No, I wouldn't
no?
believe in that. No,
You-
it's actually tied to our ancient
You think?
history.
Okay, but you
it
believe
is.
that it's a true story? That there
It is. It
literally
leads
was.
to facts. It does.
It is literally there was literally a Superman.
It leads to from symbols to. I can send you the facts later.
Okay, well, no. If it
doesn't-
leads to something, that's different. I'm actually talking about the comic book Superman. You're saying
Yeah,
that's
the
all of that is true.
Yes, it is. The Marvel characters, they are actually anciently, symbolically tied to individuals that happen to. Yeah, you guys have
No,
to.
they were created by Stan Lee and other guys who
And
drew them.
who
They're
was-
not. They're
yeah,
not.
who's the dude that
they're
created
not
Superman?
connected to any
Yeah,
ancient
they're not
being.
connected at all. They're just
Which
figments of
God
imagination.
was Superman? Which
like I
which
said,
God? Hold
like I
on.
said,
Which God was
symbolically.
Superman? I need to know this. Which God was he?
In respect to a chat, and because I'm known as a public figure, I'm going to send the host the details so I don't get anything inaccurate in terms of delivery. Okay? And then we can come back at a later time and talk about it.
Okay.
And is it possible before I get out of here, that I talk about the slaughtering of the babies?
The slaughtering of babies. Okay. Now,
This is. Oh my goodness. Okay.
this is interesting. Okay, so
It's just a lot. It's a whole lot of apologia.
okay, before you
It's
do
a
that,
common atheist debate.
before you do that, did the slaughtering of babies actually happen in the Bible, or is this another metaphor?
That's historical. It did. It happened in Israel. Yeah,
Okay, it
Israel
actually
and Egypt.
happened. Okay, it
Yes.
actually happened. So, okay, so what we're asking then, because the prompt is God loves women and kids. So I'm trying to understand, how is God slaughtering babies loving?
Okay. So to give context, this is all I ever want to do, okay? I'm never here to change anybody. You better believe this,
Yeah.
okay? It's just context.
Okay.
So what ended up
Context?
happening in,
Mhm.
yes, context. So initially, there's Pharaoh, and then there's Israel, Egypt, okay? In Pharaoh's time, what he was telling everybody was, you got to put your baby in the Nile. You got to let him go. This is whatever happens to him. There was genocide, there was raping, there was slaughtering, there was everything unimaginable that you can think of. When people usually bring up, why did God harden Pharaoh's heart that took away his free will? What happened was, or what we don't bring up in that particular context, is God actually warned Pharaoh 9 times before the actual verse said that his heart was hardened. So what that meant was,
we understand.
he
Yes.
actually, okay, so let me skip past that. I thought you wanted context for your chat, but forget the focus of Pharaoh. What ends up happening is God, in this case, can only ordain, intervene, justify, allow. So this is what you want as in terms of free will, regardless whether pride, ego, evil, whatever we want to call it, spiritual or physical or reality. I am telling you, don't do this. This is why you shouldn't. This is why there will be consequences. Regardless, finally, God said, okay, you know what? If this is what you want, I'm going to do this. Now, what is the first way you can break? This is, and I'm going to show you, just let me end, and then I'm going to go ahead and, relieve myself. So when it gets to that question, God says, fine, but this is what I'm going to do. This is one of the reasons why people say, why do you allow a rapist? Why do you allow murderers?
Sorry, I got to stop you right there. I got a clarifying question. Because you invoked free will.
Yes.
Were the baby's free will followed?
No.
Okay, so it's not about free will then.
Correct, but according to context for Christians, what they believe is how God's grace comes in is once the baby was taken, they went home with God.
Okay.
And so there was no suffering. It simply became, this is my grace. Whatever happens
unalive
to these
all babies because it's gracious and merciful.
So the end,
so they don't have to suffer.
So the ends justify the means?
No. I'm going to give the ending context, and this is the aha moment that usually happens with my atheist friends. Okay, what happened once the I don't want to say the wrong word for the sake of the chat. The slaughtering. What happened when all of this took place? And God allowed it to only happen from the firstborn, which is basically your heir, okay? It couldn't be a daughter, it couldn't be anybody else. This was a civilization of people that supported, they were raised to believe that genocide was the norm, that you had to do this to captives, that Israel, they were supposed to be doing this. So what God did as an intervention said, what I'm going to do is take that right away from you. Your heirs are gone. And from that day, from that moment on, 400 years of genocide ended. It didn't happen. That's how Israel ended up, he freed them. Israel became allowed to finally be able to walk another path.
Could God have snapped his fingers and landed the Israelites in Israel?
Sorry, guys. I just got a phone call. It blinked out. What did you say?
You got a phone call.
I asked.
No, I said. What did you say? I am picking up my son. Please be respectful.
I asked you. Could God have snapped his fingers and landed the Israelites from slavery into the Sinai desert?
Snapped his fingers?
He's that powerful, right?
What,
he could have literally scooped them all up and taken them over and put them right over in the Sinai desert, right? He could have done that.
Yes, that would avoid his allowance of free will,
which he voided with the firstborn children of Egypt, right? Firstborn sons.
Sorry, guys. My son is calling me.
Okay. Well, here, why don't you go ahead and take the call?
That would stop free will.
Well,
that would stop free will if God allowed and stopped.
Which he did with the firstborn babies. He didn't heed their free will.
No, he intervened. The people did it.
Yeah, he intervened on their free will. He took the free will of the babies. Right. So he didn't pay attention to the free will of the babies. He just unalived all of them. When he could have just not killed anybody and just put the Israelites into the Sinai desert. Could have skipped that whole thing. Didn't have to kill anybody, right?
Into a Sinai desert. If he put them into a Sinai desert, these people would still be able to continue the civilization of genocide. Even if they got rid of Israel for the certain people that were born.
Egypt stopped after that?
No, what I'm saying is what happened after that was 400 years of genocide completely ended.
Right.
It stopped. It's like slavery. It's like with us, slavery completely disappeared.
What I'm asking you is, if God had snapped his fingers and put the Egyptians in the Sinai desert, you're saying that the Egyptians would have continued to genocide.
What I'm saying is, once this happened, 400 years of slavery and of genocide ended.
Right. He could have just ended it by snapping his fingers and just putting them in Israel.
That would take away that would take away free will.
To which he did with the Egyptian children. He took away their free will, and the parents too. He took away the free will of the parents. He took away the free will of the kids. He had no problem doing that. So I'm just at a loss as to why that's a problem now, that he would just snap his fingers and put the Israelites in Israel. I don't see a difference here between that and killing all the children. And if we follow the Bible, he actually did it because he wanted to flex on the Pharaoh. It clearly says it in Exodus that he wanted to show them his power. That's why he did what he did. So it had nothing to do with, wanting to do free will. Had nothing to do with that.
Correct.
There's nothing in there about free will. So
correct.
I'm still at a loss. He could have.
The power is to show you.
Well, he could have flexed his power by snapping his fingers and disappearing all the Israelites. That would have been pretty fucking powerful.
Think of, you cannot force a person to murder. You cannot force a person to do anything. What you can do is intervene.
Well, actually,
and when that individual does whatever they do, that becomes that individual. Think of the movie Saw. Think of Jeffrey Dahmer. No one actually schmilled anybody.
Trust
Just
me.
the individual architect, right? Just think of when you're looking at intervention and you're looking at simple.
What do you mean by Jeffrey Dahmer? Nobody schmilled anybody.
Please, schmommer. Don't say the D word.
Sorry. What do you mean schmommer and nobody schmilled everybody?
Did I say the right guy? Who's the guy who led a cult and just had everybody else doing it, but he didn't?
Jim Jones?
Oh, no, not Jim Jones. It was a person that we all know, very public, internationally known. He never actually physically did anything to anybody. Oh, okay.
Manson. Okay.
Excuse me.
Which is
guys.
weird.
Sorry
We can say that last name, but the other one we can't. I don't know. I don't get TikTok. But
okay.
Well, we'll just say Schmanson just to be safe. All right.
I got it. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to. I'm not here to change any minds. It's just to offer some
All right.
context.
Well, hey, we appreciate you coming up. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. You too.
Yeah.
What's up,
can't.
Nick?
Holy crap!
That was wild.
Too much. And to call me disrespectful because I am emotional about the fact that she just defended all kinds of horrors.
Yeah.
No, I don't owe respect to people who are defending this horrible shit, who are defending G-side. And saying that, and yes, Mahaji, that's exactly what she was doing. She was giving excuses for all of it.
Yeah, it was excusing it. And
what drove me nuts was first of all, God only giving a girl who just witnessed her whole family being slaughtered a month to grieve. Fucking wild if you think that's good enough time.
Seriously.
Sorry to jump in, but I saw an interesting comment in the YouTube chat while we were talking about this. It said that the reason why was to make sure that she wasn't on her period, that she had a period. It was to make sure she wasn't pregnant. And that's even fucking worse.
That's even worse.
That's even worse.
That's way worse.
I was like, yeah, you think about it and you're like, oh my God, yes, that's what it was. That's why you wait the full month. It's not to let them mourn. It's just to make sure they're not pregnant. That's disgusting.
All awful. Women were property in the Bible. It disgusts me even more when I hear women defending this shit.
Yeah, it's
because I expect men to defend it. I really do. But when women defend women getting raped, women being enslaved, women not having a choice to do anything in life,
it's like a whole new level of
Stockholm
syndrome. Yeah,
Mahaji, you're just trying to be a troll. Also, you have a fucking Cybertruck in your PFP, so get that.
And he's gone.
Yeah.
I was a crazy person 2 minutes ago when Superman came up because I was in the checkout line at the grocery store.
Oh, you must have audibly gasped like, oh! People looked at you in line.
And I was like, I think my exact words were, Superman is Jesus or something. And I definitely got a few raised eyebrows in the checkout line, and I think I wanted to crawl into a hole and die.
Sorry, guys, I'm on TikTok Live. I promise, there's context.
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 Yes, yeah. I think I might have shouted context in the produce section too.
That's hilarious.
That was pretty great. I did want to comment though, because as you were trying to point out, and she wouldn't receive, like, if God makes an arbitrary decision that like erases free will, it's because he's all powerful, and if he doesn't, like, do the rational, smart decision to, like, just Thanos snap everybody into, like, out of Egypt.
Could have just done that, yeah.
He could have just done that, but then that, like, takes away free will, so she wants it both ways. It just didn't make sense.
Yeah. Exactly.
But also, why take it out on the infants and children?
Exactly.
He could have unalived Pharaoh's officials, and Pharaoh's army without harming innocent people, but he didn't want to do that.
Right.
Like, he would have gotten the same results.
Yeah.
He could have taken out the entire leadership.
Mm-hmm.
The entire, like, everyone for
and
a
that would
display
have
of his power.
effectively ended the Egyptian empire. It would have
Yeah,
effectively
and
ended
he could have put the Israelites in charge. He
Yep.
could have easily done that, been like, you were slaves, and now you are going to be the leaders of this nation.
Could have flipped them, yeah.
But nope, he had to unalive the kids instead.
Yeah.
I think it was a previous time that I was in this live, but I could be conflating different atheist lives, where there was a person who was basically making an argument for every time that there is, like, mass unalivings or grapings or anything like that. Well, maybe not the grapings, but the mass unalivings of innocents and women and children and stuff like that.
Mhm.
That they would have grown up to be the Schmlansons and the Schlommers and the Schmittlers.
That was
and I'm
the
just
other
like,
day.
seriously?
Mhm.
I'm just like, so every firstborn child of an entire generation of an entire, like, civilization was going to grow up to be, like, the worst person ever. And so we're going to do a minority report on them.
Right. which you could say, well, wait a minute. Yeah, because that means every single one of those firstborn are going to do that. But then even if it was not all of them, some of them, God doesn't have to off all of them, because he's all knowing. He knows which ones it's going to be. They're going to be like the worst of the worst. Right?
Which ones of the animals do you think were going to be something like that?
Right?
He unalives the animals too. The
Yeah,
firstborn
yeah.
animals.
That's what makes.
yeah.
I mean, obviously,
Donkey
the infants
Schmittler
don't
and-
make sense,
and-
but unaliving
Freaking
animals,
Schmanson.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah, just it's senseless. It's
what did the
absolutely
animals
senseless.
ever do to you?
Right?
Like, what?
Right. What did the animals do? Exactly. Like these
The
evil
free will
They were
animals.
all
cop-out
terminal.
too.
They were all terminal. It was a mercy unaliving. They were all being put down. They all had massive tumors that
Yeah.
Satan put there.
It's just
Well,
wild.
and I
Just
really
they do
hate
that.
when they use that whole excuse. Well, us Christians believe the babies and children went with God. Okay, number one, you just called Jesus a liar, because Jesus, full on with his whole chest, said nobody has entered the kingdom of heaven except for the one who came from heaven, which is Son of
Exactly.
Man. So you're admitting Jesus is a liar. Number two, the only time that age of accountability is mentioned in the Bible is when it says we are all born sinners.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you look at Ecclesiastes, it says that we and animals share the same fate. We all go to the
Wow.
same place.
Yeah.
So that goes for children too. We all go in the ground. So for them to try and negate and say, oh, it was a mercy because God took him up, well, then you're like calling Jesus a straight up liar and defying the rest of the Bible to come up with that theology.
Well, in their defense, he is a straight up liar. So I'm just
In that defense.
Trust in the future when you're asking people what kind of God they believe in, and they're dodging it. Because I noticed she was kind of doing that until you pinned her to the Bible. You're like, Quran, Bible, Torah. You can also now officially, like, say DC or Marvel too.
Yes, DC, Marvel, Quran.
Oh my
Bible,
God.
Torah.
I really need to know which god Superman was. Oh, sorry,
I
Connie.
want to know what god Spider-Gwen is, because Spider-Gwen is my love,
Right?
Spider-Gwen is bae, and I want to know what god she is.
Okay, potentially worship
Some
Spider-Gwen.
gender bending god. Some gender
Potentially.
bending god.
Yeah.
Spider-Gwen is a trans
True.
amazing
Facts.
character.
Yeah,
Yes.
facts.
Well,
That's
Yahweh's trans. Yahweh would be trans because he doesn't have biology, right? So his gender, but he prefers.
I reject Yahweh being Spider-Gwen.
Oh, he doesn't have to be Spider-Gwen, but he has to be trans.
You're like, fuck that. No.
Nope. Absolutely
Line
not.
drawn.
But it's because his gender identity would differ from his biology, which he doesn't have. So he's him, but he'd be neutral or something. He'd be it or they or something, right?
It's true.
He'd be like agender,
Yeah,
like me, unfortunately.
Totally agender.
I am God, y'all. You heard it here first.
Well, but they say that God has, like, some Phil bros will tell you God has no parts. It's just one big blob, right? Just
That would be like agender, right? Agender,
completely
asexual,
agender.
like. Mm-hmm.
Like a coffee machine or a piece of sidewalk. Or
coffee machine.
Except the ones that speak to you, I guess you can kind of tell by their voice that's a girl.
Well,
Our coffee mate who art in heaven.
Yeah.
Thy beans be done, thy brew become.
Shit. Now I gotta ask the pronouns of the coffee machine. Shit. I'm down.
I
Hey,
also
this is
wanted
what
to-
deconstructing is all about.
I also low-key think that the last cast might have watched the movie Unbreakable as if it was like a serious
And took it as
docuseries.
fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As fact, exactly.
Which is a really great movie, don't
Well,
get me
and when
wrong,
you're
but
a
if it
Christian-
spawns like a superhero cult in 500 years, I'm going to be so pissed off in the afterlife that doesn't exist.
Well, when and when you're a Christian, you have the hardest time differentiating from fact and fiction, from reality and not reality, and
Sometimes,
movies will
but
seem more real.
sometimes, but also other times they're just like, well, Islam is wrong because it's Islam. Christianity is true because it's Christianity. So they oftentimes they don't recognize the parallels between Santa Claus and unicorns and Yahweh, but
Oh, for sure, yeah.
What did you say then, Santa? You watch it now. You don't be coming from a Santa.
Santa Claus is a sick
I
fuck.
apologize.
Don't get me
Respectfully,
wrong.
what are Santa Claus's pronouns?
Kick and ass.
I'm thinking more along the lines of the David Harbour Santa movie for you, Nicholas, than like Jolly Santa.
David.
Oh,
Is that Santa Slays movie?
Yeah.
Fun fact, that was filmed in my hometown.
No way.
That's dope.
Because you were in it.
Yeah.
You were Santa Claus.
Yeah, it was, that was filmed in my hometown, which is weird because my hometown really isn't known for anything good.
Except that.
Except for that.
Except for that, I mean, it's a
Yeah.
thing.
Some
Oh my
kids
God,
I
are you
went
from
to
the
school
town where
with
the
were
freaking Santa Slays
extras.
movie was filmed?
Yep. Yep.
Whoa.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
That is
That's
cool.
the only time that it was like anything has ever been filmed in my hometown, and I think it was because they wanted to use our really ancient courthouse in it for some scenery stuff. But yeah, it was filmed in my hometown.
Hmm.
I watch it every now and again and go, I know that neighborhood.
It's got to be trippy when it's like a small town or something
Right?
like that.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, the population is only about 10K people.
Hmm.
So
That's a small town,
it's
yeah.
not big. Yeah, it takes like 5 minutes to get anywhere.
Is it official town or is it like a suburb?
No, it's a town.
Okay.
I'll just say it actually because I haven't lived there in like over a decade. It's Wetaskiwin, Alberta.
Oh.
It's like just a little crap town in central Alberta.
Okay.
Yeah. Wetaskiwin means hills of peace. It's primarily indigenous area, so that's where that name comes from. Because a lot of people go, Wetaskiwin, what kind of name is that? And it's indigenous, hills of peace. So
Well,
that's cool,
guys. I'm gonna get out of here, but y'all have a good rest of your live. Hail Satan. See you.
Right on, Lobes.
Ave Satanas.
Yeah. So, well, that being the case, it's time for me to head out. So I'm going to bring up the mods, but before I do that, everyone thank Nicholas for accidentally requesting up and then being a fantastic co-host. Like right out of the, I mean, yeah just
I sent him a friend request. He was pretty
right
good.
on. Yeah, he pocket requested. He butt dialed us and then just stayed up and cooked people. I mean,
you
don't
what's
get that every
funny
day.
is I had my earphones off and my cell phone down because I was doing dishes, so that it was sitting on the stove while I was doing the dishes.
That's
and
funny.
then I went to go have a smoke break, put my earphones back on, looked at my phone, and I'm like, I'm on the panel.
Yeah, and so we were like, yeah, okay, yeah, because we did the same thing we've done to others. I had everyone gift you because you request, yeah. Since you butt dialed this, so we're like, no, yeah, give him some gifts. So it worked out really good. So yes,
Yeah, I do that too often.
that was
Not just you. It's not just your live. I do an insurance live all the time. Yeah, it's just oops.
all good, all good. We love it when you butt dial us. It means you're thinking of us. So
Yes, yes.
that's all good. All
At
right.
least your butt is.
Yep, yeah, at least you're exactly. So, well, okay. Well, one more time, everyone thank Nick and follow Nick if you're not following Nick, because he's pretty awesome. And as you see, he can bring it. He can bring the heat. So that's what we love. So we love you, Nick. We appreciate you. Right on. All right. See ya.
Later.
All right.
Bye, Nick.
Yeah. And the same for nice comment coming up at the end. And having the supermarket moment.
I wish I had been there earlier, but duty calls, and I was like, I don't want to be running errands or driving. Like one guest was.
Yeah.
She's like, I pulled over.
Yeah. I just didn't catch the other one who said I'm pulling over. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that one.
Anyway.
But
I'll drop for your mods, but it's always a blast when I'm in real life.
And same thing. Give some love to nice comments, some follows, all that good stuff. Right on. Thanks again. Nice comment. All right. Let's see. Who else I got here? Scooty Scoot, Jessica, Forever Atheist. Hey, how's it going?
What's up?
What's up? Yeah. This was a hell of a live today. This was something.
Oh man.
I missed a lot of it too.
Yeah, I took a nap and missed a lot of it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can watch the replay later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch some clips. You got some good clips?
Fuck yeah, I got some good clips. Oh hell yeah, I did. Oh my god.
Yes.
Superman is God. That's gonna be at the top of the list.
What?
So look for that one. Yeah. The
I
last
gotta
guest
watch
we
this
had.
back.
Yeah. She said, oh yeah, Superman. Oh yeah, that story's true. Because I was like, so, Superman's fiction. She's like, no, it's not. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, what?
She said that they were connected to ancient gods.
Yeah, and that it's a true story.
What? Come on, people.
Because I tried to give her an out by saying, okay, but it's based on I was trying to get to the based on a true story, but she cut me off. I was like, no, it's true.
What?
Like, okay.
Okay. These people get more and more.
Oh yeah,
arranged. Like what?
Yeah, that's why. I don't know. I'm gonna have to roll with this topic for another day or two because the clip farming is just off the hook.
Right.
It is off the hook.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's wild. It's wild. So everybody, here are the mods. They're amazing folks. So if you can, please. I know I had you empty your pockets for Nicholas, but if you got any more, if you could spare another coin or two for each of them, that would be great because they do a fantastic job. And the same for Rainbow Ash and Blaster Master 80, and then Peg was doing double duty here and over on the YouTube chat. So thank you all.
Duty.
Appreciate you all. Duty. I know it was said like twice.
Just say it all the time. I'm just gonna repeat it every single time.
Oh man. So thank you all. Appreciate you all. So I had an idea for a new game and I fucking forgot what it was gonna be. I'm gonna have to sit and think about it. But I had an idea for a game, and it was just like it was kind of like another running game like we're doing with bingo. And no winner today. That's kind of odd. There wasn't a winner.
We have a hard time with like calling it out and stuff.
Oh, I tried.
Trying to figure out how we can. Yeah, we didn't call out very many. There might have been more, but we might need to figure out how we can do more of those, because I think there was still some stuff in chat that we didn't catch. And
Oh
stuff, so.
yeah, that's probably what it was. Okay. Yeah. Well, I might have maybe the mods can help out a little more. I know you guys got a lot to do, so I don't want to put that burden on you, but yeah, nobody won today. It was because the only ones I heard was Context and what else was there? I think that was one. Oh, The Times. That was it. The Times. Yeah. And I'm not going to lie, guys, this is a pretty tough one because I have there's like 60 something possibilities, and then it's a 5x5. So, your boards are going to be pretty random and mixed up. So I get it. It's a tough board. Not going to lie. I volunteer for bingo duty in chat. Okay. All right. So we'll, yeah. And I think what we'll do, what do you guys think? We'll just, when somebody has bingo duty, just type it in all caps. We'll allow the all caps for the bingo call outs. How about that? What do you guys think?
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Just only for bingo. Yeah. Only for bingo. We can do that. And maybe we'll group think it. So maybe if more than one person sees it, and then one of us mods will catch it, and then you guys can alert me or, somebody else. And so we'll make it happen. We'll figure it out. Because yeah, you're right. Can you send me a file alphabetically for all values? Maybe. Yeah, I can do that. I can DM it to you. Nice comment.
It might be good too to announce it in the Discord as well for people who are on YouTube. For everybody who are on just a central location.
Yeah.
For people to be able to call it out. I don't know, or be able to say like, here's where I saw it. Or,
yeah. Oh, free will and it takes faith. Yeah, free will and faith. So, those were the call outs. Yeah, free will, faith, context, and the times. So that was
the times.
Yeah. So we found 4. And it's Ali Bay. Just subscribe. Thank you for being a new subscriber on YouTube. Appreciate you. Thank you for following. Appreciate you. Yeah, we're closing up.
Volunteers as well.
Cool. Right on. Okay. Pokey. Right on. Okay. Bingo tribute. So yeah, like I said, it'll just consist of shouting it out in chat in all caps, and then we'll spread the word, and we'll do it in Discord. We'll throw it on YouTube. We'll get it around. So we'll do it. But hey, you guys are amazing. Oh, wait, 7 Lemons is here. I see that somebody dropped down, so we'll bring up 7 Lemons real quick. So 7 Lemons is here, giving some love. So that's one more mod we have. And I just want to thank everybody. This was a very interesting live today. Holy shit. This was an interesting live today. So got some good, no crash outs, huh? No crash outs today, but man, grape apology.
So grape apologia all over the place.
Yeah. Child killing apologia. Yeah. That was pretty bad, but I don't know. It's kind of expected with this topic. You're going to get that, but, wow. Yeah, exactly. Just so I suggest some eye bleach tonight for everybody, watch like just the most wholesome thing that you can watch, or read the most wholesome book you can to get this, to wash all this out. Just the best and biggest eye bleach you can find. And then we're gonna be back at it tomorrow. I might break it up and just do just the old regular God is real, so we can have a break from this, so we can kind of cleanse our palate, because this is it's hard to do this after like 2 or 3 days. Live, laugh, lobotomy, exactly. So, but I appreciate you all. So I gotta go, but hey, everybody, enjoy the rest of your day. And then one last thing, who can we raid? Any suggestions? I'm on my alt account, so I gotta go log out and then jump back in. If anyone has somebody right out the top, let's hear it and we'll just go.
So there's Black Atheist Rant, Cena May, Jay Gilmore. Yeah, there's multiple people who are
A lot of people on.
good people who are alive right now. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm all for Black Atheist Rants. We can do that. What do y'all think?
All right, sure.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Let's do Black Atheist Rants then. So, all right. Well, I will. And Black Atheist Rants is both on YouTube and Black Space Atheist Space Rants, both on YouTube and TikTok. So I'll see y'all over there. And you guys enjoy the rest of your Monday, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
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 Have a good night.